We're now tuned into Somewhere in the Middle with Soonie and Mo.
Hey, 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 hey. Hey, 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 hey.
Hey, Don on the beat.
Hey, I got so many ops.
Everywhere I go, I
got so many ops.
so many y'all.
I know they plotting against me. I know it's hate, they wanna kill me, but please don't tempt me, cause I got so many glocks. Hey, ain't none of them empty. Jesus said they would hate me too. That's how I know it's envy. I got so many ops.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the show.
Sorry, I'm chewing my food.
I was chewing my food too. Dude, my stomach hurt.
Go to the bathroom.
I have been going to the bathroom, girl. Not to get graphic, but dang. Man.
I could have went all of 2024 without knowing that.
I just listen. We're like a family here. And you know you and I talk about this all the time. Don't even fret.
No, we don't. First of all, it's not all the time.
But when Soonie's got the bubble guts, she tells me and I tell her. So because you guys are one with us, you guys get to know that my stomach is a bubbling. So if I if I have to rush out of here mid-show, you guys know why. But I'm still eating because I'm still hungry.
Gotta take a crapola.
I'm still hungry. Anyways, welcome to the show, everybody. You do want to know
Tell
it.
them,
You guys want to know all our business. First of all, you want to know all of our business? You think I'm going to stop there? Come on now. Y'all want to be nosy all the time.
I don't think they do.
Anyways, all right. As you guys come in here, go ahead and like this video, share this video. You guys know the drill. You guys know the reason. What was the reason?
Cardi B. Cardi.
Oh, speaking of which, okay. So you guys who watched the show last week, you know how I said I was going to do, what is it called? My, not my picks. What was it called?
Your picks for the
schedule. It's called something else.
It was your picks.
Yeah. My picks for basketball, right?
Yeah.
So I start to get into it and I was like, this is fucking dumb. Okay. Like the bracket. Thank you, Boots and Bourbon. First of all, who has this kind of time? Okay.
I knew you was going to come in here critiquing. Here you go.
I mean, if y'all want to walk me through this, I don't think you're going to get very far because I got so frustrated. I was like,
it is so simple. The fact that you're making it complicated is beyond me.
Well, okay, so I saw the bracket and then like all the teams, right? Okay, wait. Let me go to like my questions here because I was asking P because he knows about sports and I was like, dude, I don't understand. Like, okay, so I'm supposed to look at the teams that are playing and try to guess who's going to win that game. And then I'm supposed to guess the score. Like, who the fuck cares? It's about win or lose. Like, who cares what the numbers say, right? So then I start looking down and it's like naming all these different like periods of like the season. And it's like Selection Sunday is March 17th. And then there's the first four, the first round, the second round. And then they want to get freaking fancy with it. And they call the next thing not the third round, but Sweet 16. Okay. They want to get extra with it. Then the Elite 8, then the Final Four, and then the championship. Like, I'm just like, I don't have this kind of time to be looking at asses and outfits, okay, to be able to, to make, even I don't have this kind of time, okay? Even I do not want to sit there and examine everybody's booty, everybody's uniform, everybody's legs, whatever you want to say. I just don't. So I'm going to leave that all to you guys in the sports world. And that's all I got to say.
You said all that to say, I'm not doing a bracket.
I mean, pretty much. Because
you could have just said, I'm not doing the bracket.
I just had to express myself, though. I had to explain why. Like, I didn't want people to think like I didn't try. I looked at it and I was just like,
she didn't try.
I have a life. Like I got things to do. I got things to do. I'm shaking and moving. I don't have time for this.
Are you saying, are you implying that we have time for it?
I'm pretty much. Like people who do sports stuff, you make time for this nonsense. You make time for this nonsense. And you know what? To each their own, right? Because I make time for things that other people wouldn't make time for either. But yeah.
Whatever. We're gonna have fun with our brackets. I'm gonna have fun with my bracket this year. I'm looking forward to UNC. Listen, don't nobody bring up the NC State game. I don't want to hear it. Don't bring it up. UNC is gonna be gold this year.
Do you post your do you share it, or is it something you keep to yourself?
No, you could share it with other people. Like, look at my bracket. But you just got to you have to keep up with it and make sure your picks were right.
So can you change it like as you go? It's whatever you put down before the okay, gotcha. So you got to stay with your picks.
Yep.
But if you don't show anybody, how do they know you're not changing?
What do you mean? You fill it out. Somebody could tell if you've erased it or done something to it.
But I mean, do you turn it into somebody?
I mean, it depends on if you're doing it with a league, if you're doing it for fun.
Or like you're in a pool or something.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, most people would assume that you're going to be honest and not, switch your picks to make your wins more favorable.
I would for sure.
You just told us all what you would do, which was cheat.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, who's going to know? And what's the big fucking deal? Like, I mean, seriously.
I'm going to know if I looked at your bracket and I see some differences. I'm going to be like, bro, you changed it.
And then what? Like, what are you going to do to me? So,
nothing.
What are you going to do about it?
You suck.
Okay. Is it because their shorts are too baggy? If it was football or baseball? Oh, absolutely not baseball, because baseball has the worst uniforms out of all the sports teams. Okay. Very poorly fitted. not like flattering to the body whatsoever. Football, absolutely. Okay. Those men.
Who watches these sports for outfits?
I do. It's the only thing that keeps me entertained. Yeah. And you know what? I'll be honest with you, like basketball guys, there's very few that I find appealing, because I kind of feel like the taller you get, the weirder looking you start to get. Like your face starts to look weird. Your voice is like, just like, you're like an ogre. You know what I mean? I feel like football players are the perfect specimen of the human body, whereas like basketball players, they're like really, really tall, kind of like lanky. They walk like, newborn deer, like sometimes, because they're just so tall. They're like clumsy. And then baseball players, they're really just like innerly athletic, but like not outwardly athletic. You know what I mean?
No, I don't. I'll be honest with you. I don't know what you're talking about.
Just stay with me. Stay with me for a second on this one, Soonie.
I tried, and then you lost me.
Does anybody in the comments get me? Does anybody in the comments get me? Anybody at all? Throw your girl a lifeline.
Anybody? Anybody out there?
I know. I know Big Booty Judy gets me.
I don't think she does.
Yes, she does.
Don't lie to her, Judy. Don't lie to her now.
Tell me what I want to hear. You guys, I'm going to play the Big Booty Judy intro. And when I come back, I better see support in the comments for me.
Big cutie, big booty Judy. What? Big cutie, big booty Judy. Big booty, big cutie, big booty Judy. Stop. I want to see you move it. Yeah. Big booty Judy. Big booty Judy. Got big booty Judy. That's big booty Judy. Got big booty Judy. That's big booty Judy. Got big booty Judy. That's big booty Judy.
And we have nothing. All right. Well, thanks, guys. Thanks for playing. Look at Judy. She supports us both. She's so sweet.
Off from those antics. Don't do it.
How was your weekend, Soonie? I know you felt neglected for me, you said.
No, I was sick. I was being extra.
Oh, okay.
I didn't really care. I was sick.
What'd you have? Did you have the bubble guts?
No, I've just had this like nagging cough and
Mhm.
like nasty congestion.
Mm.
And it only hits me at night. I don't know what that's about, but it only hits me at night when I'm laying down. Like
That's probably why.
I
Because you're laying
had the
down.
worst. Like last night, I thought I was gonna die. I kept dreaming about spraying. You know how you get the what do you call it? The nasal spray.
Uh-huh.
And it clears your. I kept dreaming that I was spraying that in my nose, but I wasn't. It was like lucid dreaming. Like I knew I was dreaming,
Mhm.
but I also could feel like, bro, I am so congested. I couldn't breathe.
You were like trying to spray. No relief.
I
Man.
thought I was gonna die.
You either have the allergies or you have that flu that was going around, because I still have a lingering cough from that flu.
What flu? I don't even. Man, this is what I think. The seasons change 4 times a year,
Mhm.
and people just get a seasonal sickness. Like I think that's what it is. It's starting to get a little warmer here, and the temperature fluctuates. Like right now, it's really cold,
Yeah.
and tomorrow it might be like 80 degrees. Yesterday
Yeah.
it was really rainy. Tomorrow it might be sunshine. Who knows? But
Yeah. It's the same. Texas, your weather and Texas weather is almost like the same all the time.
yeah, man. It was
Yeah,
just,
man.
I was like, waking up trying to breathe because
Mhm.
I'm a nose breather. I don't breathe from my mouth. I
Yeah.
feel like if I breathe from my mouth, I get winded. I don't know why that is. Do you ever feel that?
If you breathe like when you're sleeping, you're saying, or like just in general?
Just in general, yeah.
I think I'm probably both. Not that I sit there with like my mouth open all the time, like, but like, but like I'm always like talking. So I feel like I'm obviously breathing in between those.
Okay.
So I don't know. But like, I'm trying to think like when I sleep, do I sleep with like my mouth open? I don't know.
I'm a
I
very
used to be
basic sleeper.
I used to be really fat. So like I could still have like sleeping habits from like when I was fat, you know? Like
I don't think all fat people sleep like that. Come on.
bro, I slept with a CPAP machine. Are you kidding me?
Oh God.
Can you imagine? I had like that
Uh,
mask on my face and I was like,
You snored?
oh, dude, I snore. I snore. Well, not with the CPAP machine. You don't snore, but like before I had the machine, oh my God, it was terrible
Ugh,
snore.
I can't stand people who snore. It's like so
Mm,
disrespectful.
yeah, I
I'm
know.
a very organized, neat sleeper.
I am too. I stay in like one
I
little
stay
spot.
on one spot. Yeah.
Mhm. But when I was fat, I moved around a lot. Because when you
Well,
can't breathe in your sleep, you move to like breathe again, like to wake yourself up. You know what I mean?
maybe that was what's going on with me last night because I thought I was gonna die. I'm like, bro, I can't breathe. What is happening?
Dude, and you had the baby sick too last week. Maybe you caught it from her.
I think I caught it from everybody.
Oh.
I have a mix of what everybody had at this point.
Mm.
That's how I'm starting to feel
You
at
need
this point.
you need some tussin.
Robitussin.
You need
I
the
used to
tu-
hate taking that when I was a kid, man.
Yeah.
Ugh, that was a nasty. I don't even think that shit worked.
It's just alcohol. That's what like Robitussin and what's the other one? NyQuil. It's just alcohol. Like you might as well just pour yourself a drink. It'll have the same
Ugh,
effect.
shit's nasty. I'm getting flashbacks from having
Really?
to take Tussin. Robitussin, dude, I would gag.
Really?
I would gag.
You
I
were
had
one of
to
those.
drink some water because I'd be like, mother would be like, you
Mother.
better not throw this up.
Did you say mother?
Yeah, my mother.
It sounded like you said mother would be like.
Oh, my mother's.
I was like, that's very Norman Bates of you. Mother would be like,
Ooh, or some damn ginger ale. You get, yo, you sound like my mama too. You want some ginger ale?
Mhm.
Lay down. Go
Yeah.
take a nap. Drink some
and
water.
and Judy said Vicks. Like that's very Hispanic. Like we just put Vicks on
Vicks
everything.
vapor rub. Yeah. Put it on your
Yeah.
feet.
Oh, dude, on your feet is the shit. Put
Yeah.
some socks on, ma'am. I
I
swear
can't
by
sleep
that.
like that though.
I swear by it.
I'll get over it.
Anyways, all right, guys. So here's what we got to talk about today. So we're going to talk about Trump promoting a 16-week abortion ban. Stephen A. Smith slams Dems for using legal system against Trump. Caitlyn Jenner and Lamar Odom are launching a podcast together called Keeping Up with Sports.
God, they're about to get back together.
Trump is Caitlyn Jenner, not Chloe.
I know. I was thinking of her. I didn't say it out loud. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. Trump used the word bloodbath and people are losing their minds. We're going to talk about that. Olivia Rodrigo, the singer, she had a concert and she was handing out free Plan B pills at the concert. So I want to talk about that. Then some interesting, like, weird news. I saw that some teens got in a little bit of trouble for organizing a mock slave auction on Snapchat.
Mm-hmm.
I know Soonie saw this. Want to talk about the Candace Owens interview with Rabbi Barclay.
I kind of streamed a bit of that early this morning. Yeah, me and my husband, dude, we were like screaming at the TV.
Me too.
Like, what the? We'll get into that though, but that I can't wait to talk about that because that whole exchange is very telling.
Yes.
If you didn't know, you're gonna know after watching that.
Mm-hmm. We should talk about that first because I'm like chomping at the bit to talk about that. Okay, and then Obama appointed judge approves guns for illegal immigrants. There's a little bit more information than just like the title that you see there, so we'll read about that. And I think that's it. Unless you have some topics that you want to add.
I do. I have the red heifers that made it to Israel. They're finally of age. They're 3 years old now.
Who's the red heifers?
It's a biblical prophecy.
Oh,
so they are in the talks of constructing the third temple, which will be built in Jerusalem, which Christians believe is a sign of Jesus to return, and it'll also be the place where the Antichrist dwells. So if you're a Christian, this is a very probably like borderline scary / exciting time because we've been hearing about the return of Christ since I was a baby. Probably before I was even born. But
I didn't know about this prophecy, so you have to tell me about it.
Yeah, there's that, and we actually had the same topics. Honestly, I was looking at the news last night and this morning, and I was like, "Oh, this is interesting. This is interesting." I do want to talk about the primaries. We can go over that real quick.
Oh yeah, what's it looking like?
Trump has won Florida. Trump won. The results for Arizona is not in yet. Trump won Florida. 80-13 split between him and Nikki Haley. Trump won the state of Illinois. 78-17% split between him and Nikki. Kansas, Trump won, and Ohio. Now, the only thing I'm going to say, and I'll pull this up so people can see. The only thing I'm going to say is, why can't we be like Democrats and get behind one candidate? And people are probably going to say, well, that's a bit hypocritical of you, Soonie, isn't it? Given you're not voting for Trump. I think that I represent a very fringe minority in this country who actually votes on their beliefs.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't expect people to think like I do. I've accepted the fact that I'm an outlier in this situation. But for the people who are voting, is it small or can you see it?
Oh, I can see it. You may want to make it a little bit larger because the numbers, because the numbers are in gray or hard.
This is in Florida, y'all. Why is Nikki Haley getting over 154,973 votes to be exact? Why is she getting 13% of the vote when she's not even in the race anymore? Why does Ron DeSantis have almost 4% of the vote? Why does Chris Christie have any votes? Like, I just want to understand why this side specifically does this.
Yeah,
like,
because I feel like you shouldn't vote it if that's the case.
Why would you do that?
You're just going in there just to like cast your vote, just to cast it. But if you're going to do that, you might as well cast it towards the winnable candidate.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Even here in Illinois, she got 44,000 votes, 191. That's 16%.
Mm-hmm.
Why is she getting 16%? Now,
That's
16%
a lot.
may seem like nothing, but exactly. That's a fair percentage. She got 18% of the vote in Kansas. Why? Trump's got 72% of the vote. Like,
And
and this is with
Ryan
40.
Binkley.
I have no clue, but why are y'all voting for him?
Right.
This is with 41% of the votes in, 39% of the votes in. Now, there'll be more to come in, but I just wanted to point out the fact that people are voting for Nikki Haley and she's not even in the freaking race. She got 15% in the state of Ohio. Come on, guys. Why?
Yeah, I mean, you'll see Democrats who say, we don't like Biden, but we're going to vote for him because he's the only option we have.
Exactly.
Yeah. Exactly.
I don't know, man. It's starting to, it's like giving California vibes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they wanted to spread their vote out so much that they literally lost the recall.
Mm-hmm.
I believe they could have won had they been behind one candidate. And
yeah,
especially if it's just a special election and you could have gotten him out of there and then you could go back to the drawing board and pick an actual candidate. But please get it together, America.
We don't play to win. That's why. We don't. And I always say this, like, Republicans love to lose. And it's not literally that you love to lose, but you guys don't know how to play the game. And when I say you guys, I'm not talking about everybody. But people, you need to learn how to play the game if you're in it to win it. Because this isn't just about, well, I like this guy. You know, I kind of like this guy. Do you want to win or you don't? You know what I mean?
You know, since we're on the topic of politics, I think we should talk about Trump and this whole abortion thing. Mm-hmm. I don't know if did you watch the entire interview? I'm pretty sure you did. Or did you just get the clips?
No, okay. I did not watch the interview, but I did read the article.
You read the article? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, do you think we should play the video first or give our thoughts?
Go ahead. No, play the video.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I had to send it to myself. Shout out to Today with Julius. If you guys don't get like instant news from Today with Julius, then you're missing out. That is where I get my news from. To me, he's the objective version of right-wing Angel. I'm not saying he's not objective sometimes. You know how sensitive people can be. I'm just saying this is my favorite go-to for like a lot of news that nobody's really talking about.
By the way, before you hit play, right-wing Angel is actually like getting a little better.
He is. I'll give him his credit.
A little better. Yeah.
For sure.
You were quoted as saying to one of your aides, well, I like 16 weeks because it's a nice round number, 4 months. Do you think that could be politically acceptable?
So we're going to find out, and pretty soon I'm going to be making a decision. And I would like to see if we could do that at all, Howie. I would like to see if we could make both sides happy. Look, a lot of things were done with Roe by killing it. Number one, we brought it back to the states.
Of course, your justices to the Supreme Court have made that possible.
They did.
Yeah.
And you know, they did something that from a lot of standpoints is extremely good. Number one, the Democrats are the radicals on this issue because it's okay to have an abortion in 7, 8, 9 months and even after birth, according to that.
Well, I know that's
and I will say this.
I know that's
if you speak about the subject right, we actually have, it's like fertilization. Well, in fertilization, I took the lead on that, and it's actually now our subject. It's a positive. We want to help women. And that could have been a very negative thing. We want to help women. With Roe, you take a look at what was going on. Abortions in the 7th, 8th, and 9th month. One thing that you say is nobody wants that. Killing of a baby after the baby's born. That was the governor, the ex-governor, last governor. Prior to this one, by the way, he's a good guy. Yeah. The last governor of Virginia, he said you put the baby aside and you discuss with the mother whether or not essentially you want to kill the baby. They are the radicals. There's a certain spot. If you look at France.
I think you should go first because my response is going to be kind of cliche. I think everybody already knows where I stand.
I think they know where I stand too. This is a tough subject. This This is a tough subject for a lot of people because I know that the people would like him to say no abortions, no way, no how, and I agree 100% with that. I think the problem is like politically, strategically, and I know that this shouldn't be a strategic topic. So understand that I'm not talking from my personal point of view. I'm just kind of like being the devil's advocate on maybe where he's coming from. This is, I think he's trying to find the sweet spot. Jacqueline said it here. He's trying to take center left, right? He's trying to find the sweet spot where he can appeal to basically making a deal with both sides. Those that will compromise on the right and those that are extreme on the left. So, but you guys know how I feel personally.
I mean, I get the strategy, right? I get that he's wanting to win an election. I've kind of just come to terms with the fact that this is Trump, and Trump's not a conservative in any shape, form, or fashion. Trump is very much so moderate, as far as I'm concerned, on a lot of issues. Now, he's not radical on either side, but I had a different take on it, because it was interesting watching a lot of Christians just be downright upset. Just upset. This is murder. How can you do this? Right. And I agree with you. There's a winning strategy here. He needs to win. He wants to win, whatever. But you know what I started to think about? I started to think about the fight against the LGBTQ. And I put in my caption, I think it is laughable that we have so many Christians loud about their faith and their belief on children. But they say nothing when it comes to the LGBTQ, because if you think of Trump and his stance, Trump supports almost everything we are antithetical to. Okay? He does. So why do people care so much on this topic, right? When you agreed with the Supreme Court's ruling to kick it back to the states and let states decide. And states decided. We're now in favor of a federal ban on this. Is that not government overreach? Now, to someone like me, I'm okay with this, right? Because I believe right now it's just sanctioned murder, unaliving. Let me say that we're on YouTube. It's just sanctioned unaliving. But for the people who you're okay, you're malleable. You're like, hey, if this is what he's going to do, okay, it's back to the states. I'm cool with that. So why are you now wanting this federalized? Like, what happened to the Constitution? What happened to all these things that you got? Yeah, like, that's immediately where my mind went. Like, if you're going to be quiet on the LGBTQ stuff, then you need to be quiet on this. If you have already acknowledged that it was kicked back to the states, right? And the LGBTQ matter is still very much so at a federal level. You're inconsistent. You're inconsistent. And I just want people to think about that. He's not a conservative. He's not going to govern like a conservative candidate. He relates to us because he's a small government guy, allegedly. We'll just have to take him at his word and how he governed when he was in office. He's 2A. He believes in red flag laws, right? Where we oppose that. But we're still supporting Trump because he's the best option. So I'm just going to channel a little Bryson here and call out the right, because abortion is really not that big of a deal. Not to anybody who's not really firm, like a firm abolitionist, I'll say. If you're not a firm abolitionist and you believe in exceptions, then get off the high horse about this, please. Just get off of it, because you're advocating for federal restrictions on states, which is something that we should oppose, not be in favor of.
Well, thank God I'm not on a high horse, honey. Listen,
unless you're gonna be like me and admit, like, hey, I'm okay. If it's Christian, yeah, go ahead and do it at a federal level. I don't care.
Yeah. You know those people that ride horses like stunts and they like hop from one side of the horse to another?
Yeah.
That's me. I'm like, hey, hey. Yeah, though that's a great point.
Yeah.
That's a good point and a fresh take.
Fresh take?
Fresh
I
take.
try.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What was the article you were gonna read? I just wanted to pull a picture up of
Oh,
it.
I wasn't gonna. I was just gonna basically talking about what it was he was saying.
Okay.
Which you guys heard for the most part,
Read
you
it.
heard what was
Yeah.
in there. Yeah.
Tell us what you think in the comment section, but
Yeah.
you gotta be consistent somewhere.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? So this is kind of funny, but like speaking of inconsistency, have you been keeping up with Rob Smith's Instagram page?
You sent me that, and I'm gonna be honest. You know what I did?
What?
I said, ah, and I threw the phone down. I'm so sick of his ass. I really yelled. I'm tired of people trying to reinvent the wheel.
Yeah.
Like, been there, done that. Okay?
Yeah.
It was hot in 2020. No, it was hot in 2021 and beyond to get off the Trump train.
Yeah.
Now, it just looks like you're doing it for clout, bro. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah. So if you guys don't know what we're talking about, and I'll show you his picture so you guys can see who we're talking about. But every once in a while, he pops up on my, this is a story you might want to see. And it's like pure entertainment to me. And I've been getting a lot of messages from people that they're like, have you seen Rob Smith? And did you watch his podcast? And yes, I did listen to the entire podcast today, him explaining why he's no longer on the right. He is a free thinker. But he had been kind of like away for a while, and then he came out with this post kind of teasing. Okay. He was like, oh, I'm about to expose a bunch of people. Now, the last time we saw Rob Smith he was getting confronted at a Turning Point event, I believe it was, by he said Nick Fuentes's gay followers. Now, if you dare so watch the podcast, you can't cancel Rob Smith on YouTube, which only has 140 followers. Shout out to us. We have more followers than Rob Smith. Let's go. Okay.
Let's go.
If you haven't already subscribed, we must not let Rob Smith beat us. So please hit the subscribe button. Otherwise, you guys are a bunch of gay neo-Nazis. Okay. According to him. So, anyway, so he posts this. It's wild how many neo-Nazis and white supremacists have infiltrated conservative organizations from top to bottom, and how nobody seems to care because that's apparently a target demographic now. Some absolute fire from what I recorded today. Okay. So then he starts to like post clips, which I'm going to play some clips from his thing. Hold on.
I got some clips too.
Oh, you do? Okay, hold on one second. Here's a few. Let me play a few.
And the white supremacists wanted me out of the Republican Party, and guess what? I'm out. This is Can't Cancel Rob Smith. The neo-Nazi.
Okay, that's one. That was the intro.
Neo-Nazis. Come on, bro.
This guy, Nick Fuentes, everybody knows who this person is. This is a white supremacist. This is a neo-Nazi. This is the leader of Frog People. This is somebody who has achieved a lot of prominence in some sort of very far-right conservative circles for basically hating blacks, hating Jews, hating gays, hating everybody. And the Frog People follow this leader, which is very curious to me because I thought that Nick Fuentes was over when they found gay porn on his phone. And apparently the
I'm about to hit up the Great Purchase over.
Have decided to conveniently ignore the fact that there was gay porn on his phone and that this is obviously a deeply closeted homosexual. He's probably so deep into the closet that he probably will never have sex because the sex that he wants to have is gay. This guy, Nick.
Okay, so
bruh.
Let me just make one comment here. Now, for those of you guys that don't know, Rob Smith is gay. Okay. It's hilarious that you can be gay and in the same turn use gay as an insult.
As an insult. Yep.
Like what? What?
Yep.
Seriously, like, anyways, so the podcast, he talks about only Nick Fuentes and the neo-Nazis. Okay, that's all he talks about, and the frog people, which I don't even know what the frog people are. But that's all he talks about. And if you guys don't know how to see through that, he's just trying to like poke a bear so he gets some attention. Okay, so he went after Nick Fuentes, and he's using the keywords neo-Nazis, white supremacists, blah 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 blah. I'm sure the invites for Mar-a-Lago have stopped coming for Rob. The second half of the podcast is him reviewing the dresses and makeup at the Oscars. Okay. Shout out to me and Soonie. Okay. Because I'm starting to see a trend that a lot of people are realizing that solely talking about politics is not where it was at. And P.S. Soonie and I saw that before anybody saw that, because when everybody was still talking about politics and political topics, we were mixing politics with culture and entertainment and comedy, and we talk about it all here. So I don't know why we don't have more followers than we do, because everybody's jumping on this train now. Everybody is jumping on this train.
Yep.
Okay. And Soonie and I are the captains. So choo choo.
Hey, this is how I look at it. You are clearly inspiring people who don't have the balls to do it when nobody else is doing it, right? People like to eventually hop on trains and be like, oh, look at me. That's how I think of Rob Smith, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not bitter in any way, shape, form, or fashion. But can you pull that Twitter screenshot that you had up when he was talking about white supremacists? I don't know. Y'all, let's have a very interactive moment right here. Put a 1 in the chat if all you heard since Trump came around, and probably a little before, depending on when you really started paying attention to politics, white supremacy was a talking point that we condemned. Put a 1 in the chat.
I'm gonna put a 1 on the chat for all that.
You know what else I want to point out? I want to point out Tamika Hamilton, who was in his comment section saying, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
So now neo-Nazis and white supremacists have all of a sudden infiltrated conservative organizations from top to bottom. You gotta be smoking that good stuff. Not no weed. I'm talking about you gotta be smoking Krenak, meth, heroin. You gotta be sniffing the nose candy to even think that this guy is being remotely honest. And you know what I want to know? Why ain't nobody calling his ass out? Where is Tatum? Right wing angel. I'm sick of doing this by myself. Where are people at?
Right wing angel actually does call him out quite a bit, because he can't stand him either.
This guy, Nick.
Let me see him. Travion Cootie. Let's see what she said. This is fucking hilarious. Nick Fuentes is not obligated to like you, me, or Jews. Further, he is smarter than you by light years. This is what you're coming with. Stop being a sissy, you black. Yeah, a black woman said that.
Shout out to her.
Shout out
because
to her,
I'm just saying, like, we can't condemn this stuff in one voice, right? We can't. Let me say it. We can't condemn this stuff on one angle and then openly embrace it on the other. The only reason I called out, and I even called it out, but the only reason I called attention to it is because it was people like Rob Smith. It was a lot of right-wing influencers who were like, nobody says the N-word over here. No. Everyone is just all loving, all accepting, right? No, they're not. You have people over here that don't care about your feelings on the N-word. And yes, the grapers say N-I-G-G-A. They say nigga. And if they feel like being froggy and leaping, they might drop the hard ER at you. But guess what? I talked to some of these young men. They have an amount of respect for me, and I have an amount of respect for them. They don't get on lives and just call any and every black person the N-word. I'm not justifying them saying it because it's cringe when they do it. But like, come on, bro. You know these young boys are doing it to get under your skin.
Mm-hmm.
You know they are. And you can't tell people to all of a sudden care about the N-word when you told them for 6-7 years that this word should not dictate and control their emotions. Now we're watching Rob Smith flip the script and turn to his liberal ways, which we knew he already was.
Yeah.
Okay. And exploit the system. This frustrates me. It does. I'm not even going to say it's not fair, but like, dog, y'all can't be serious right now. And you got these conservatives in the comment section. You're right. What?
Actually,
What?
he's got more people just like annoyed with him than anything.
And first of all, screenshotting Amanda Seals is already a freaking L. She's not even accepted in black circuits on TV or anywhere else because of her antics.
Yeah.
What? He just gets under my skin, bro. What was Nick's called?
Was Nick's cat boy girlfriend there too? What's that? Nick is... I don't know what that means.
They didn't say the N-word, bro. Shout out to Red Pill. Shout out to Fam. Shout out to the real ones in the chat being like, bro, what are you talking about? And notice, guys, do you remember on the interview that he did on CNN that he said he had the footage of him being called the N-word?
And he never
he's never produced it. Thank you.
He's probably saving it for the podcast.
I'm going to write this down. This needs to be a clip right here. And we need to tag Rob Smith in it.
Let's play this so the people can hear for themselves. This is what he posted. Okay, this is the only clip.
Is crazy.
And look at him, he's laughing. And he said he feared for his life, by the way. Does he look like he's scared?
Yeah. America first! 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 America. I got some oh my God! Look at that! I got some fans! I got some fans! Wait a minute! Gay sex! Gay sex! Gay sex! Gay sex! Gay sex! Yes, Nick Fuentes loves gay sex. No, he doesn't.
So lame.
Listen, bro.
That flop.
Where's Carter? I would bring Carter on.
Who's Carter?
He's a groiper. It's cool with Nick Fuentes. Bryson, cool with Nick Fuentes. You know? Everybody tried to get at Bryson. Why are you hanging out with him? Marjorie Taylor Greene, they got her. They got her. They threatened her with the white supremacist, white nationalist label, the title, and she said, "Okay, I quit." I don't know why white folks are afraid to be called. Listen, that is our version of coon. That is our version of Uncle Tom. When they call you a white supremacist and they say you're a neo-Nazi, what they're saying is you're a sellout. You're a coon. You're an Uncle Tom because you don't think, act, move, and speak the way I want you to. Just embrace it. If you want to go to an America First event, so what? They're actually talking about things that matter. They really, really focus on immigration. People need to watch them. You can get past all their antics. It's really not that big of a deal. But for this fool to sit, man, I can't even look at his page. He's so damn gay.
I know. And the thing is like he went through and like cleaned up a lot of his stuff because he used to have some like really, cringy stuff on his page.
Why does anybody take him serious? And how come there's not conservatives in mass numbers?
Look at him walking the runway at Mar-a-Lago. Okay. Look at him walking the runway at Mar-a-Lago. What is this? For a good cause.
Oh my God.
Big Dog Ranch Rescue.
See what I mean? They're okay with the gay antics, but let Trump talk about abortion. And it's not abortion, period.
hold up. Okay, he says here, walking the runway at Mar-a-Lago for a good cause today. We raised hundreds of thousands of dollars at Big Dog Rescue thanks to the work of other volunteers, generous donors, and the tireless efforts of our queens at Laura Lee Trump and Erin Elmore. Just FYI, when he does his podcast today, he actually says that Laura Lee Trump, isn't she the one that's in the RNC now?
Yeah.
He says that she's going to bleed the RNC dry.
What?
Yes. Because he basically, I mean, listen, when he was talking about the RNC, he actually wasn't wrong, right? Like he was talking about how they're basically there to pay for Trump's legal fees, which is true. I don't disagree with him on that. But you will see the inconsistencies in like what he posts versus what he says. So he just says shit to trigger to get attention. Hence, he's a grifter.
He's a grifter. I'm okay saying it. You're right.
FYI, when I say grifter, people who try to make money selling merch or doing whatever business, that's not a grifter to me. A grifter is somebody who tries to make money and sell you on ideas that they're not consistent with. That's a grifter. They're liars.
Yes. Facts.
Yeah.
Facts, man. I can't believe this man. And he still got support, knowing he's. I'm just waiting for the floodgates to open up of all these black conservatives that come out and say, well, yeah, the Republican Party, the GOP is not very black friendly. I'm waiting for, because I know that moment's going to happen. Yeah. I know that moment's going to happen.
The race car.
I'm just going to sit back and be like, now when I said they wanted a specific type of black, y'all made it seem like I was just causing division.
Yeah.
But when you come out and say it, it's a problem when I do it, but it's cool when they do it. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, he's really cleaned up his page.
This dude, bro.
Who's so gay?
I have to find him talking about white supremacy not being a threat. I know he's on Fox News somewhere saying this.
Just Google it. I'm sure you'll find out. You won't find it here, though. Because you won't find it here because he's completely cleaned this up. Completely.
Let me see. Rob Smith.
What the hell is this Bust It challenge?
He did the Bust It challenge. No, he didn't.
What is that?
It's a challenge for women, Mo. Where you look bummy and then the song comes on, bust it. And then you like get down and twerk, or you do something different with your new clothes on. It's like a transition.
Well, I guess he didn't do it.
Yeah.
Or maybe he's making fun of it. I don't know. Anyways, I just want to talk about him for a second.
Rob Smith said he could have been killed. And nobody's calling him out for this, bro.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
Yeah. Crazy. Let's talk about Candace.
Let's talk about Candace.
And her interview with Rabbi Barclay. I think I might have a clip. Hold on one second. Let me just see if I can if I have a clip. I'll look it up in just a second. Let me read.
Do you think we can interview Rob Smith? Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but do you think you can interview him? Because I know if I do it, he's not going to be too happy.
I doubt.
I want to be here to ask the hard questions, though.
Well, but I doubt he would come because I always like repost his stuff and then talk shit about it on my story. And he's so thirsty for attention that like he looks at it like seconds after I post it.
No way.
So yeah. So he sees that I talk shit about him. Yeah. Okay.
Still, Kristen, reach out, please.
Oh, Lord. All right. So the Daily Wire's Candace Owens insisted that she had not insulted her colleague, Ben Shapiro, publicly on her show Monday, despite having previously directed an anti-Semitic dig at him and declaring that he was emotionally unhinged in the wake of the October 7th terrorist attacks in Israel. On Monday afternoon, Owens released an episode of her show featuring Rabbi Michael Barclay, in which the pair discussed a column critical of the former written by the latter. You write, and this is what he wrote in an article about her, she castigated Ben Shapiro for being passionately pro-Israel. I couldn't find a clip on that, said Owens. So basically she challenged him and said, I never said that. I never castigated him. She challenged Barclay to produce evidence for this claim. So I just wanted to ask you what you were referring to, because actually what happened was Ben insulted me publicly, and I have never insulted Ben publicly. Shapiro did fire the first shot at Owens. You guys all remember that video of Ben Shapiro at some type of like fundraiser where he basically said what Candace Owens said about the Jews and her support of Kanye was an embarrassment to him, is what he said. I think that her faux sophistication on these particular issues has been ridiculous, he continued, presumably referring to her erroneous claim that Jerusalem's Muslim quarter is the only place where Muslims are allowed to live in the Israeli capital, as well as her suggestion that Israel's military action in the Gaza Strip constituted genocide. Shortly after Shapiro's comments circulated online, Owens shared a cryptic post online that appeared to be aimed at Ben. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God. Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are ye when men shall reveal you and persecute you, and shall say all manner of evil against you falsely for my sake. So she had also done a interview on Tucker Carlson's show where she said she would have been embarrassed to have behaved as Ben Shapiro behaved, and basically spoke to his character and said that what he did spoke to his character. More recently, Owens waded into open anti-Semitism, fretting about a sinister group of Jews in Hollywood inveighing against political Jews, and liking a post from a user asking a rabbi if he was drunk on Christian blood, in an endorsement of a century-old conspiracy theory. You guys know we talked about the episode that she did where she talked about Rabbi Shmuley and some other people seemingly being involved in Michael Jackson's death, in the situation with Kanye, in a lot of situations in Hollywood, kind of, I guess suggesting that there was some type of Jewish hold and involvement in some of the more recent weird events that have taken place. So this is Rabbi Barclay and Candace Owens. She handled herself amazing, by the way, in this interview.
She really did.
Yeah.
That was something Kyle said. He was like, this is how you do a freaking interview.
Yeah.
She's not reacting. She's pinpointing. She was just laser focused, but
laser focused.
Candace is made for times like these, right? Because she's often misquoted, and she gets to go back and say, actually, I didn't say this. So, how do you respond? And this guy, for him to be a rabbi, he's extremely deceptive.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he lies through this entire interview.
Mm-hmm.
I went to the specific point in the interview where they were talking about, where he says the term anti-Semitic mutates.
Yes.
And it means whatever they want it to mean.
Yes, like it changes.
Do you remember when was it? I kind of always been saying it, but does anybody remember when I have a shirt that likens the ADL to BLM?
Mm-hmm,
you guys remember that? When I said Jews are turning into black people. They are the new BLM. This guy is a representative for the Jewish version of BLM. Jewish lives matter. No lives matter until Jewish lives matter. That's exactly what we're seeing on the right when it comes to, the conflict over there. I won't call it what it really is, but the conflict over there. He literally says that anti-Semitism, or for someone to be anti-Semitic, does not have a definition. And for you to do this, he says, if you put anti-Semitism in a box and you challenge a Jew, you are then anti-Semitic.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to play the clip. Listen to this man and his explanation on how this mutates.
Was that you don't accept that definition of anti-Semitism.
What I said is I don't accept that definitions mutate, is what I said to you at the beginning of this dialogue.
And I'm telling you that's the definition of anti-Semitism. You have now said that you know more than Lord Jonathan Sacks, who I believe, I'm going to guess, actually your father-in-law, because it's not that big of a world there. And you can ask anyone about Lord Sacks. you are now saying that you don't accept the definition. Well, okay.
What I'm saying to you is that there's debate even amongst Jewish people about the definition of anti-Semitism, as I pointed to you.
No, that's a pretty much accepted one.
If you're saying the definition mutates, then you're saying it has no definition, right? It has no definition. Comes from the word define. If it has definition, it has a shape, right? You can't say the shape can mutate. The square can become a circle, can become a triangle. That means that it has no shape. You're talking about an amoeba, right?
I'll say it again. It mutates because the definition, again, I'm quoting Lord Sachs, directly quoted him, where he says that Jews have, this is his definition, it's pretty much accepted. Jews have no right to exist collectively as Jews with the same rights as other human beings.
Yes, that sounds like a definition.
And in reason that it mutates, how that becomes manifest is because in the Middle Ages, it's about religion. When they come out of the shtetls, when they go into the cosmopolitan areas, and in the 18th through 27th, or 20th century, excuse me, that hate has now manifested and mutated. So it's not about religion, it's about race.
Just so I'm clear, did Lord Sachs say?
Can I ask, does anybody know the race of Jewish people? Because I can't, he looks white to me. I would never knew he was Jewish unless I saw that yarmulke. Since when has Jewish become a race?
Yeah.
When? You're listening to him say this word mutates, and it's all predicated on what time period that we're in. This was relevant here. I mean, this was relevant here, and then it became relevant to the church. Then he moves the goalposts even more. And shout out to Candace. She said, you know what? This is just like BLM.
She kept making that comparison.
She did.
Yeah.
In my mind, I was like, she watched my videos.
Like in your mind, you're like, we're friends. And, I gave her a few talking points. I know you do what I do,
Bro, right? They are just like the freaking BLM people.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know you're Jewish, sir. I only know you're Jewish if you tell me you're Jewish. I can't tell. So for him to correlate this to a race was crazy. This entire interview was nuts.
Bananas. Nuts. Like, I wanted to even watch it again because I feel like I was having like an out-of-body experience listening to it. Well, because I was like I had never seen Candace in this form. You know what I mean? Like, usually Candace is really good at like really just like running an interview and just like keeping the person on point. But this guy hardly let her speak. And she decided to say, you know what? Let me allow him to highlight everything he's saying. I don't even have to ask him any questions because he's making himself look like a fool. And then when she did open her mouth to ask a question, it would basically be like to check him on what he just said. And then he would just like backtrack and, talk in circles. It was wild. How about like when he was talking about the Rabbi Shmuley and he was like, you can't, to insult his daughter and say she's a hag, like that goes back thousands of years or hundreds of years.
When he said that, when he said the word hag was anti-Semitic.
Yeah.
And referring to her as a witch is anti-Semitic.
Yes.
And then he gave the time period and my husband was like, what they were practicing witchcraft.
Right.
So if you called them a witch, then you called them a witch. And you know what he also brought up? This fun fact that people like to shy away from. This group of people has been kicked out of almost every country they've existed in because of their practices. You have to ask yourself, this is not okay what Hitler did. And the fact that we have to say that in 2024 is bananas to me.
Yeah.
But why can't we have the discussion? Why is that anti-Semitic?
Yeah.
And by definition.
And he tried to insinuate that she said that H was okay.
Yes.
And she was like, show me a clip where I said that. He came with nothing. And she had all the clips to basically show. And she sat there and she's like, you need to watch this clip so you can see exactly what it is I said.
Bro, I'm going to play it because he gets into it right here. Where this is where they start talking about Rabbi Shmuley. Listen to this, bro.
And with 9 kids, right? And we have something in Judaism, predates Christianity, but it's also Christianity as well to an extent, called Lashon Hara, the evil tongue. That to gossip, to say certain things like that is really a huge avera. It's a huge sin. It's a huge chait. I don't know all the things that he has said about you. I do know he's called you an anti-Semite, and so have I. That's not a personal attack on you and your family.
That's not a personal attack on you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Look at her face. Oh, look at Candace. She's burning a hole through
For
him.
you to call a man who is extremely knowledgeable an unholy rabbi and his hag daughter, forgetting about what he may or may not have done, if he's attacked you personally, if he's said whatever horrific things about you personally, that you are a blankety, 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 blank, he's wrong. If he's attacked you or your children or your family, your mother, for you to, rather than comment on whatever he's done, to call him an unholy rabbi, that is way out of line. You don't even know what a rabbi's supposed to do.
So let me ask you a question. Do you view that as anti-Semitic for me to respond? So it's okay. So he can attack me for 2 years. Is he a racist, just to be clear?
I don't know how he attacks you, so I can't comment.
So what if I say that the definition of racism changes, and if you attack a black person, you're a racist?
Candace, you don't get to get away with that. It depends how.
Dude,
you don't get Candace. You do not get to change the definition of racism. For the Jews, it's fluid. For you, it's not.
Shout out to Candace. You know what she did? She said, "This seems very supremacist to me." I called the Jews the white supremacists at the beginning of this conflict. I caught flack for it. But to hear Candace, right? I'm not looking for her to confirm my bias, but to hear someone who I think is extremely right come to the middle of the aisle and say, bro, you are out of pocket and you are putting yourself in this position of superiority to me by telling you don't even know what a rabbi is. You're telling this woman what she can and can't say. You're telling her, and they had a back and forth on, well, if you wanted to criticize him because she did a gotcha, she used her faith. She said, in my Christian belief, you writing a pornographic book with your daughter talking about butt plugs is extremely unholy. So sorry, sir, but you don't get to tell me how I get to respond. And he said, well, Candace, if you would have just said that and left out the rabbi part, I wouldn't be calling you anti-Semitic. Like, so we can't point out the fact that he's a rabbi selling butt plugs and telling people that anal is kosher?
I actually have that clip. I'm gonna put that up here real quick.
Awesome.
So you guys can see that.
If you believe that Shmuley Boteach and his daughter are doing things that are attacking you on a personal level, not attacking your persona, not attacking what you do. My calling you as anti-Semite is attacking you for how you act, not attacking you as a human being. Please understand there is a difference of who we are and how we are.
She dropped out of college.
Wait, please let me finish. If Shmuel
okay, go ahead.
is attacking you, if he is attacking you on any personal way, that doesn't mean it's okay for you to attack him. You know better than that. You teach your children all that better than that.
No, I actually, like everything I'm saying about him, like if this is holy, like, you know, selling butt plugs with your daughter, I don't know.
Okay,
Maybe you're right. I think it's gross.
Right,
I think it's disgusting. And I do not, it's not the definition of holy in the Christian faith is what I would say. It's weird to me. Okay. It's very, and this could be a difference in our religions, but by the way, your religion does not trump my religion. So I think that you should respect that. When I say something is unholy, I am referring to my religion. His relationship between him and his daughter is very creepy to me. The sex podcast is very creepy to me. The idea of sitting down and talking to your father about, you know, topics of sex in any regard is creepy to me. Him promoting butt plugs that are sold by his daughter is creepy to me. I have a right to say that I find this to be utterly unholy and that any faith leader, at least in the Christian community, would agree that all of this is giving us very weird vibes between the father and daughter relationship. I can say that all I want. And I do think that part of it, and this is where we get to the topic of where people perceive this and they say, is this a form of Jew supremacy? To say, suspend your Christianity because my Judaism matters more is the feeling that I get when you say, you don't get to say it's an unholy rabbi. Pornography, pornography is unholy in my view. You might disagree with that. It is unholy to Christians. The topic of pornography, peddling pornography, selling butt plugs, the commercialization of pornography is unholy. And I'm going to continue to call him unholy because that is what I deem him to be. And I say that as a Christian.
Yep. Let's go.
Call it out.
Call
them what they are, bro. They demonstrate this like superiority complex. Now I don't know where it comes from.
Yeah.
I've never recognized this. I'm 33, so I've been here for a little minute. I don't ever remember it being this painful to sit and talk to these people. I don't.
And let me say this, because I was actually engaging in a conversation with somebody who had mentioned this to me and wanted me to watch it. So that's why I watched it. Yeah. This is very much like the people that have like risen up in the Black community that claim to speak for everybody in the Black community, right? Like they claim to be the representatives for the Black community and all Black people feel this way. And you have to understand that this is how we all feel. Meanwhile, there's Black people going, no, this is not how we all feel. We don't all resonate with this message. I believe that it's probably the same thing on the side of the Jewish people, that there are people that don't resonate. And I say that because I was looking at the comment section of this video on Candace's thing, and there were people there that were like, I'm Jewish and I find this appalling. If you go to like Rabbi Shmuley's page, there's Jewish people there going, you're an embarrassment to us, Good. So that needs to happen because these people have risen to some type of platform where they get to represent you guys. And that is what is, and that is designed that way, just like it is with the Black community, to create this hate towards one another, right? So that you think that all Jews are this way, all Black people are this way. This is how it's designed. Okay. And I think Candace, she does actually point that out in the interview at some point, because she says, I grew up with a lot of Jewish friends and they're not like this. And they know where my heart is. So these types of things have to happen. People can't be afraid of these conversations.
Yeah. What's crazy is, I was watching, this kind of segues into our next topic. I wanted a little bit more information on the red heifers. So I went to YouTube and I found a lot of awesome YouTube channels that kind of break it down into more of like a historicity argument. And they brought up Burrell Solomon, and this was last year sometime.
Yes, I remember
when the whole Kanye thing happened. And I actually got to interact with a lot of big Jews, and it was him in particular I don't like because he's a janky car salesman. But Murray.
Yeah. The girl, I forget her name.
Yeah, I can't remember her name. She was cool, and there's a few other of those Jewish people that were cool. Excuse me. Hold on, I gotta sneeze.
Yeah, we had a great conversation with her. I wish I could remember her name. She was super sweet.
No, she was super cool, but it was interacting with them where I think we both gained an understanding of, okay, you're not this type of Jew. But what was apparent was they were afraid to call out this type of Jew. And they wanted to like really separate and almost not even call it out. I don't know what fear they have. They kept referring back to the Holocaust, and this is how the Holocaust started, and so on and so forth. But Burrell Solomon was in the video of this red heifer, the whole scenario, the prophecy. And he was talking about how this is biblical, and this is the greatest experience you'll get to have in your lifetime, because we are building the third temple and we know the Messiah is coming, right? And I started to wonder, how is this historical for them when they don't even believe in the Messiah? The ones that do are the Messianic Jews. They believe in Jesus. But to my understanding, and someone can correct me if I'm wrong in the comments section, okay? I just saw her. I can't even respond to that.
Well, no, what I was laughing about is because I had no idea who the red heifers or what the red heifers were. And I thought
What did you think it was?
3 redheaded fat chicks that were like,
Bruh.
they were like building a temple. I don't know.
No.
I was like, what? Hey, these days when you say the red heifers, I'm thinking some thick redheaded girls.
I thought you were talking about Red Pill's comments.
You pulled up a straight up picture of some red heifers. Okay.
So the red heifers is prophetic, and I thought it was interesting that they used Burrell Solomon to open this entire video because it's speaking against the Jewish belief of what this actually means. If you're Christian, you believe that Jesus is the ultimate sacrifice, and we no longer have to sacrifice animals to atone for our sins or even to communicate with God, because Jesus is he's like that intercessor. He interacts between us and God, right? So they're going to be sacrificing these cows in this temple. And this is supposed to trigger, or not trigger, let me use the right word. This is a sign that Jesus is to return. This is how we all know. This is a sign of the times, and this is what Christians are called to do. We're supposed to watch for the signs to know when Jesus is near. Now, in my head, right, in my very finite understanding, the first thing I wondered is, why are they so excited about this? Why are they so excited? And then I remembered, because it's the end. And also, they say that the Messiah is going to come. When this temple is built, the Messiah will come. But in the Bible, and Red Pill, you could put the scripture in the comments section for me. It also talks about the Antichrist coming. And the Antichrist will pretend to be God, will pretend to be Jesus.
That's true.
And will pretend. Oh my gosh.
I'm just joking, y'all. I'm just joking.
You're gonna have this show in the trash because people are like, Mo called Trump the Antichrist.
Well, because that's what's being said under y'all's breath. Okay. I'm just saying what y'all are thinking. You guys, listen, I'm not sensitive. I know that's what y'all are thinking. Yeah, but put the Bible scripture about, let me just look it up. Red heifers. Go ahead. Keep talking.
It's in Numbers. This is a directive that Moses gave to Aaron regarding the red heifers, red female cows. Yeah, Numbers chapter 19, verses 1 through 10. The people of Israel were to bring a defect and blemish-free heifer that had never carried a yoke, which means a virgin, pretty much, never carried a baby. Unlike other offerings made inside the camp, the priest was to take the red heifer outside the camp and slaughter it. Elzar was then to take some of its blood with his finger and sprinkle it 7 times towards the tent of meeting. This is just talking about what the red heifer cow means to these people. So if you want to read that, it's in Numbers 19.
This is like I was saying,
Numbers is in Old Testament, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Back to what my thought, right? My finite understanding is, why would these people want the return of Christ? Like, for what? What are you waiting for? You don't even believe in the Messiah, so who are you waiting for? And it triggered other stuff in my head. Sorry, I'm getting a rush of thoughts. It triggered other stuff in my head to wonder, because some Jews believe that they are the servant that God speaks of in Isaiah. I think it's Isaiah 48. He talks of a new servant that will receive wounds for our transgressions. So he will be wounded for our transgressions, meaning he's going to die for our sins. That's what Jesus came here for. Many Jews believe that they are the servant. So remembering that chapter and then that book, and then correlating it to now, my mind went down a deep rabbit hole, Mo. I went to bed watching this stuff.
Oh, Lord.
I can't say it on here because I don't want to get our channel axed. But we're talking about the Antichrist. We're talking about how the Jews are happy that they have this red heifer cow, that there was more sent over from Texas, from a Christian organization, I might add. Okay? We can just call them Christian Zionists. Got sent over to them. And in the Bible, it says that many people will come to like be in shock and awe of this, but they won't understand that this is not the Messiah. So in your finite understanding and limited understanding of what I'm saying.
Right.
That's the Texan cows.
I know, right? Why they gotta come from Texas? They're trying to turn everybody vegan. This is a ploy from the vegan community.
I wouldn't disagree with you. Just any angle can come from this.
Yeah.
Would you not start to think that they are somehow triggering or like pushing for this antichrist figure to come to fool and deceive the world? Because remember what I said, they don't believe in the Messiah. They don't believe in Jesus.
Right.
They don't believe he's going to return.
Right. I'm so confused.
Really?
See,
Damn.
Yeah. And you know what? Like, God, I wish we could get Bryson like on a bat line really quick just to like have this conversation, because you guys are so much more into this than I am. I don't know nothing about these cows or these heifers. Okay. I didn't know nothing about no temple being built. Okay. Listen. Mo's just out here living her life. If I was driving down the street and I saw somebody sacrificing a red cow, I wouldn't think twice. I'd be like, what's for lunch? Okay.
Oh my goodness.
I wouldn't think twice. I'm just being honest with you.
Yeah, I know.
I'm just being honest with you. Like, I don't know. Like, there's all kinds of weird stuff. There's this. And then like, I was just reading the other day about this eclipse that now like they're warning people to like, there's all these scare tactics going on lately. Mm-hmm. And it's all very interesting. You know, it's kind of like signaling, the World War III stuff, the red cows, the solar eclipse. There's all these scare tactics going on, right? Are those maybe all related? I don't know.
That's what I'm saying.
Now I know why you went down a rabbit hole.
When the Antichrist comes, he is going to act like the peacemaker for every nation on the planet.
Uh-huh.
I'm just saying, bro. When you think about this.
But keep it real. Who is that? Who do you think that is? Like, if you had to take a guess.
I don't know. I have no clue.
If you had to just like take a freaking shot in the dark, who would you right now, people that are existing right now?
Being honest, bro, I have no clue.
Oh.
I know. I don't believe it's Trump because where is Trump? Where do you see Trump creating peace everywhere? It's not happening in the Middle East.
Well, we don't see it, but there's a group of people that truly believe, like they put way too much weight on this man to save the world, basically. Of course, we know he's not going to save the world. Oh,
I'm
Lord.
Just saying, bro. Y'all go look into it.
Yeah.
Daniel talks about the end time prophecy.
If anybody, I'm gonna put a link. If anybody in the comments has a theory, I'm gonna put a link down here, and y'all can jump in here and talk about this. Because I don't know.
Just saying, bro.
So it says in the Hebrew Bible, the red heifer offering instructions are described in Numbers 19. The children of Israel were commanded to obtain a red heifer without spot, wherein is no blemish, and upon which never came yoke. What the fuck does that mean?
No baby.
Oh, yoke is the baby? Okay. The heifer is then to be slaughtered and burned outside the camp.
Yes.
And then what happens? And
this
then
is supposed to be a sign that Jesus is returning when the third temple's built. See? Daniel chapter 8 talks about the restoration of worship in Jerusalem along with the Antichrist figure that perverts that worship. Can you imagine how many people are going to be deceived to go praise and worship with this Antichrist figure? And it's happening in Jerusalem. And these people are celebrating the building of this third temple. And they do not believe in our Messiah.
Okay, but y'all, the hooves have to be red. The horns have to be red. And the eyelashes
they got that
have
already.
to be red.
The rabbis have already inspected these red heifers. They're perfect.
But isn't red in the Bible considered the Satan?
No, what? I ain't never heard that.
Judas had red hair.
What? I don't think I've ever heard that either, but
oh no. I'm just trying to kill time to see if somebody wants to come on here and talk about this.
Probably not. It's a biblical topic, but
it's very interesting. See, I wish I could have a conversation about this.
Listen, bro.
Bible thumpers, where you at? It's Bible Thumper Tuesday.
Come on.
What's the song on the Jesse Lee Peterson?
Remember how you guys heard Ben Shapiro talk about Jesus? Oh, he was just the man who was going around talking, and he was killed because he was considered a political what? What did he say? He was considered a political prisoner or something like that. Some weird stuff he said.
Yeah.
Come on.
Red pill. So I go to the Church of Jesse Lee Peterson, and I don't sit down and just like read the Bible. I know there's some people that do that. I have read parts of the Bible that I love to read, but I ain't that deep into reading it. You know what I mean?
This just really intrigued me.
Yeah.
Like,
really.
Ow.
It is intriguing. Ow. It is intriguing. What actually brought this up in your like this just popped up in your timeline?
No, so I was having a debate in Discord regarding the Israel and Gaza conflict. And I was talking about the G word and how what's going on over there at this point. Alex, can I get what is genocide for 200? You know, you can't say it, but I can ask like, hey, what is this? And I started to pull up a lot of UN information. NATO reports all this. I started to look into independent journalists speaking on it. I watched a few of Candace's videos where she had a Jewish guy on and she was interviewing him. And there seems to be a lot of people who believe this. And then all of a sudden this guy's like, yeah, and they got the red heifer cows. He comes out of nowhere, I swear. They got the red heifer cows. And I'm like, red heifer cow? Like, what are you talking about? And he was like, you know, the third temple. And I said, so the one the Antichrist is going to dwell in? He's like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They're super excited over there that they get to rebuild this temple. And I was like, what? So, you know, my brain, I just went down this rabbit hole of me just watching videos back to back to back. And my husband was like, girl, what are you watching? I'm like, listen, I want to know why these folks are so excited to build this third temple to be sacrificing red heifers when they ain't got to be sacrificing red heifers no more because that's what Jesus came for.
Right.
Okay. And in order to receive salvation, you have to believe that Jesus came and died for our sins. You have to believe that he is the Son of God. And they believe neither.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, what you doing, guys? That's what I started thinking. Like, wait a minute.
That's a good shirt. Have like a red heifer on the front and be like, what you doing, cuz? Okay, so wait. So this says, according to the rabbinical tradition, there have been 9 red heifers sacrificed since Moses' time. Since the destruction of the second temple, no red heifers have been slaughtered. The Rabbi taught that the 10th red heifer would be sacrificed by the Messiah himself. The Temple Institute, a group advocating the construction of the third temple, reports that 5 flawless red heifers from Texas arrived in Israel on September 15th, 2022. They've been there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, long time. Many people
have to be 3 years old in order for them to sacrifice.
Okay. Many people view this event as a fulfillment of prophecy since the acquisition. I want to know who in Texas sent these red heifers.
See?
Okay, we need to find that out. Bureau of Investigation. Okay, we have a job for you. Find out where the red heifers came from. Okay,
listen, bro.
Report back.
Hold up.
Okay, hold on. So let me keep reading here. Okay, many people view this as a fulfillment of the prophecy since the acquisition of a red heifer is a major step in plans for a new temple. The Mosaic law specified that the red heifer was to be without defect or blemish and to have never borne a yoke. The sacrifice of the red heifer was unique in the law that it used a female animal. It was sacrificed away from the entrance to the tabernacle, and it was the only sacrifice in which the color of the animal was specified. That's racist and sexist all at the same time. The slaughtering of a red heifer is described in Numbers 19, 1 through 10. Eleazar, the priest, was to oversee the ritual outside the camp of the Israelites after the animal was killed. Eleazar was to sprinkle some of its blood towards the front of the tabernacle 7 times. Then he left the camp again and oversaw the burning of the carcass of the red heifer. As the red heifer burned, the priest was to add some cedar wood, hyssop, and scarlet wool to the fire. The ashes are then collected and stored in a ceremonial clean place outside the camp.
Amen.
What?
Listen, why these folks so happy? Why?
Wild. Where did the red heifer come from? Let me see. Google.
Prophecy is being fulfilled. You know, I've never been one of those Christians that are like, you know, pocket watching for Jesus to return because he's going to come like a thief in the night. We won't know. Nobody will know when he returns. But this right here, this is right here.
I think I found the answer. I want to know
why they're so happy.
I think I found the answer.
I don't.
Here we
I'm
go.
Scared.
The Fort Worth Star Telegram. Oh my gosh. They really want me to subscribe to see this. And they're the only ones. Unlock 48 hours of free access. Do I have to give you my...
They're going to charge you. Yeah, they're going to do that free trial thing.
Hold on. I'm putting in Soonie's email to subscribe. Just joking.
I was about to say, excuse me.
Okay, let's see. Hold on. Let's see if this unlocks it. Okay. It unlocked it. Here it is. Let's read the article together, y'all. There's the red heifer, okay? Brian Stinson.
We need to look up Brian Stinson.
Has always been a man of strong faith, and recently that faith came into play for a mission. Jewish faith leaders he knew needed a red heifer to replicate a ceremony depicted in the Bible. I felt like it was my duty as a Texan to go out and look around Texas and see if I could find a completely red, pure red cow that fulfills the requirements of the red heifer. And if I could, then try to ship it to them in Israel. Stinson told the Fort Worth Telegram. He's in Glen Rose. That's not far from me. Didn't just find one heifer. He found 5. Those 5 perfectly unblemished red heifers landed in Israel September 2022, a feat that cost around $500,000 when you factor in the first-class plane tickets for rabbis to come examine rabbis to come examine the heifers and the American Airlines trip to Israel. They're now being taken care of at a secure location, and Stinson and others hope to hold the ceremony they'll be used for during Passover. What? That's going to happen in East. What? Stinson runs a nonprofit called Boneh Israel that helps build up a revival biblical site. The goal of the whole ceremony is unity. How is that unity? What?
Listen, do you see why this is like
weird?
The third temple will be destroyed. So you're building it for who?
Who asked you? We need to talk to Brian. Christine, find Brian. We need to interview him.
Listen, dog. Oh my God. Listen, sometimes I read the Bible, I take what I need to take from it, but I don't get like sucked into it. This has really got me like sucked in.
Here we go. One of the heifers came from Urbanowski Ranch just outside of Houston. The other 4 came from Triple Creek Ranch in Rockwell. You guys, that's like a 20-minute drive. I should go investigate.
You should.
I should do an investigative reporting out at the ranch.
Be careful. Don't get got because you're messing with
I'm
the
Jewish.
boys.
Should I wear my yarmulke or whatever Jewish women wear?
You can't wear that. You have to wear something else.
Okay. Well, I have to look like I belong. It's either that or cowboy boots. Like, what is it?
Oh my God.
What's the
All I
accessory?
know is there's going to be someone who negotiates peace between the Jews and the Arabs. That's what the Antichrist is going to do. He's going to negotiate peace between the Jews and the Arabs. And this third temple is sending me, and I want to know why they're so excited when they don't believe in the return of Christ or that he is the Son of God. So to me, it seems like they're happy for this fake Messiah to come instead of the real Messiah, in which they don't believe in.
Brian,
so I'm just saying they might be introducing the Antichrist to humanity. And I'm not going to say who they is. I'm just going to leave it right there.
I need to know who they is.
You do. We can't say it on here. We've been talking about them for the past 40 minutes.
Well, I mean specifically like who Brian spoke to. You know what I mean?
Hey, man. I don't know. All I know is this is clearly a Zionist Christian.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying.
He has a yarmulke on in the picture. He does.
Listen, I'm going to shut up. I'm going to shut my mouth and I'm just going to continue to research. But I wanted to bring that up because I find this very interesting. There's a few interviews you can find of him on YouTube, Mo, if you want to go down the rabbit hole with me. Yeah.
Oh, you already knew this? I wasn't breaking any news?
No, you did. And then I went to go look his name up.
Oh, okay. Look at the yarmulke, y'all. Look at the yarmulke.
Oh, man. Bernie Moreno going to win Ohio Senator. Oh. Hey, man. What's going to happen, guys?
Your people,
Mo. Your people. What's going to happen? Do Christians in the chat, do you think I'm being a bit of an alarmist? Or do you think my senses are heightened for a very good reason? Tell me the truth.
This is quite interesting, actually. For somebody who's like totally unaware of this really did pique my interest now. So now I'm going to go look them up. Yeah.
Well, that was my topic.
Dang.
The red heifers.
That was actually more interesting than I thought it would be.
You thought it was going to be boring?
Well, because I legit thought you were talking about 3 fat chicks, like redheaded.
No.
I was
you don't think I'm being alarmist? No, I'm on point. Listen, I prayed like, Lord, I believe you giving me discernment, but I need you to like, you gotta, I need something. I've been asking for about 24 hours now.
Mm-hmm.
And everything I'm looking at, even if I look at the opposite side, even if I listen to the, to the Jews speak to this,
mm-hmm.
It's all coming back to like, bro, y'all.
What happened to what was our favorite Jew?
Murray.
What was his name? Murray. What happened to him? Why don't we talk to Murray about this?
I don't know. I lost my page. They used to all follow me on my other Instagram page. I have no clue. I mean, I'm sure I could look him up. I'm sure there's a few people who still follow him who can like send his information our way, but
Murray was dope. I liked him.
Facts, Red Pill. Comes like a thief in the night.
Right. Like there ain't gonna be no ceremony, y'all.
If we knew the thief was coming, we'd be waiting.
It's about to be night. How you say it? You about to go night.
I blocked him. I was tired of getting IG jumped. Oh God.
Oh man.
You got to tell me his name. His name is on your block list. Just tell me his name so I could give him a follow.
Murray Botek, was it?
Because I wouldn't mind asking, his expertise on this.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind. But
we need some Jewish expertise.
Cause I'm gonna be like, who y'all inviting? Cause Jesus ain't gonna be in no temple. He gonna destroy the temple. What you talking about?
Oh, these people are wild. All right. Well, let's talk about an Obama appointed judge dismissing gun charges. Says illegal immigrants should not be deprived of his Second Amendment right. Isn't that amazing? Protecting the Second Amendment rights of illegal immigrants. Oh, you got a video? You got a video.
Oh, this is just somebody talking about ending the ban on bump stocks. It's not has nothing to do with the judge.
Okay, let me read what the judge said. Okay, so a U.S. district judge appointed by former President Barack Obama dismisses gun charges against an illegal immigrant, stating that he should not be deprived of his Second Amendment right to bear arms in self-defense. U.S. District Court Judge Sharon Coleman of the Northern District of Illinois, who had twice previously denied the illegal immigrant's motion to dismiss the case against him, reversed herself in the case against Heriberto Carbajal Flores, who was found with a handgun in the Little Village neighborhood in Chicago. Flores contends that he received and used the handgun for self-protection and the protection of his property. Because of Flores' citizenship status, he was charged in violation of a very long number that I'm not even going to tell you about, which prohibits any non-citizen who is not legally authorized to be in the United States. So I want to talk about this. I want to stop right here. A non-citizen, we know he's not, right? Who is not legally authorized to be. My question is, I know that we don't want them to be here and we don't like the way they're coming across, but border agents are processing these people across the border, right? So in a sense, to me, that would make it somewhat legal because they're being processed through. They're not like hopping a fence and like sneaking through the border. They're actually being let in by Border Patrol agents, okay? United States, authorized to be in the United States from possessing in or affecting commerce, any firearm or ammunition, or to receive any firearm or ammunition which has been shipped or transported, blah, blah, blah. The government argues that Flores is a non-citizen who is unlawfully present in this country. The court notes, however, that Flores has never been convicted of a felony, a violent crime, or a crime involving the use of a weapon. Even in the present case, Flores contends that he received and used the handgun solely for self-protection and protection of property during a time of documented civil unrest in the spring of 2020. So what do you guys think about this?
If that's the case, then citizens shouldn't have to go get certified to carry any weapon. We should just be able to carry it because we're citizens. Because that's pretty much what they're saying to this guy. You illegally got a gun, and then you use this gun to defend yourself. And we're saying, well, they should be allowed to defend themselves. Well, then so the F should we. Like, what the crap? Why do we have to go through all these avenues to get something that's rightfully ours? But they can just come in and be processed and it's okay.
Right.
People are in jail right now for firearms violations. So, basura. How about that?
Right. I mean, Kyle Rittenhouse, for instance, is a great example of that. He used a firearm to protect himself, right? He's a citizen. Here's my thing. I mean, I actually, listen, if it is assumed that the Border Patrol processed you through, whether you should be here or not, whatever, but they let you in, you should be afforded the rights to protect yourself, okay? Now, if you are a criminal, you shouldn't have a gun. You shouldn't be sold a gun. And if you are found with a gun and you have a criminal record, it should be a problem, right? I get what people's problem is with this, that they're like, he's an illegal. I get all that. But if he got let in by the Border Patrol, he's not a citizen, but he was legally, according to what the laws say right now, let into this country.
Well, are they allowed to carry a weapon in this country?
Well, I think this is citing Illinois law. So according to Illinois law, it's saying that if you're not a citizen, you
Here's my
cannot
question.
have it.
Who's to say that this wasn't criminal activity between him and someone else. And he used a gun to defend himself after a drug deal gone bad.
Well, it says it was civil unrest in the spring of 2020.
That is so vague.
Documented civil unrest. I don't know what that means. So
summer 2020.
He was in a protest.
The summer of love. Oh, see right there.
Right.
What if he was actually committing a crime? Or
I'm
just saying, man. If they shouldn't be allowed to do it if we can't. That's
right.
It.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, if you're here, whether you're here legally or not, you should have to follow the same laws that everybody else has to follow. And American citizens shouldn't get treated more harshly than you're getting treated, which is what's happening. And that's what I do have a problem with.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Protected by 2A. You're not a citizen.
Yeah.
How does the Constitution apply to you? Who cares if you've been authorized to be in here? You are not naturalized.
Yeah.
See, it's stuff like this that I wonder why American citizens don't raise hell. People just kind of sit back and accept their fate with things like this. They don't say nothing. How come y'all don't fight? You're just letting judges make decisions.
Yeah. Well, because when they do fight, they get put in jail for it.
Dang.
You know?
So we live in a banana republic, pretty much.
Pretty much.
Well,
yeah.
I guess you're right.
Mm-hmm.
Who is Sean Cameron?
I don't know. Where'd you get that name?
Shoot, he's a famous drummer. He liked one of my posts.
Oh. DEI, Soonie. DEI. That's what Jack.
We could blame DEI. Why not? Equity.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, what I want to see if there's been an update from that Hazelwood High fight, because people just didn't got quiet about it.
Which one? The girls fighting in the street?
Yeah.
Want
to see what happened.
Well,
have you heard any updates on it?
No, I haven't. But while you research it, I'll go into this short story about the 6 juveniles in Massachusetts that were charged in a slave auction online.
Oh my God.
Is this the right? All right.
Did you say charged?
They've been charged in racial bullying after holding a mock.
What the fuck is that?
They held a mock slave auction on Snapchat. Okay, so 6 juveniles in Massachusetts were charged of course we don't have a picture because they're juveniles, in a racial online bullying incident that involved heinous language, threats of violence towards people of color, and a mock slave auction. Students from Southwick, about 104 miles southwest of Boston, allegedly participated in a hateful, racist online Snapchat discussion. Kids, this means your Snapchat discussions are not private. Between February 8th and February 9th, Jillian said he became aware of the incident on February 15th and immediately called the Massachusetts State Police. On Thursday, at the conclusion of the investigation, the district attorney authorized members of the detective unit to pursue criminal charges against the juveniles. They were all charged with threat to commit a crime. 2 of those juveniles were also charged with interference with civil rights, and one of the 2 was additionally charged with witness interference. Hatred and racism have no place in this community, and where this behavior becomes criminal, I will ensure that we act with swift resolve as we did here to uncover it and bring it to the light of justice. Let's see if it talks about it. Okay, so the chat was created by a group of 8th grade students from Southwick Regional School. The discussion involved some of the juveniles expressing hateful and racist comments, including notions of violence towards people of color, racial slurs, derogatory pictures and videos, and a mock slave auction directed at 2 particular juveniles. The existence of the chat and some of its language was reported to school authorities. Several students involved, including the 6 who were charged, were suspended as an emergency removal. According to the district attorney, 3 days later, several students were formally suspended, including 2 for 25 days and 1 for 45 days. So that's interesting.
What do you think?
Slave auction. I mean, these are just hateful children with low character, and obviously they don't get good. I don't know what, they're not taught correctly at home to be doing some bullshit like this. This sounds like something that would happen in Discord, honestly. I don't even know how you hold any type of auction on Snapchat. You know what I mean? Are we really doing Snapchat?
I disagree.
What do you say?
This is what I say. If you can watch cringy hip hop, what is it? Hip hop task force. Hip hop task force, and watch Republicans make fun of it. If we can sit here and joke about Kunta Kinte, a lot of people do it. What's your name, boy? Toby. I mean, Kunta Kinte, know your name is Toby, right?
Yeah.
We laugh at that.
Yeah.
We can laugh about jokes, talk about slaves jumping off the ship, and this proving the myth that black people can't swim because we died in the ocean on the way over here. Like, what's wrong with what these kids are doing? Adults joke about race all the time in very problematic ways. So who cares if they had who cares? Who is it hurting? No, nobody was hurt. Your feelings were hurt. Oh, well. Do you believe you're a slave? I'm telling you, when I tell you this is where I am with black people, this is legit where I am. If you keep identifying yourself as somebody who came off a slave ship, then don't get mad when they reenact history. That's all they did.
Well,
this is like getting mad at the Civil War people reenacting the Civil War every year.
I don't know if they were necessarily. See, again, we don't know how this went down, right? Like when they say slave auction, okay, I'm picturing like an auction, like, somebody talking real fast, describe. I don't know how it went down, but I just think this is poor behavior. Okay, I don't care that other people are doing it and that people are making fun. Number one, if it's adults and this is what you want to do, you're responsible for your actions. Blah blah blah. But come on, kids, do better. Don't grow up and be this type of people. Don't feed.
What is this type of people though? Like
idiots.
It's a racial joke.
Idiots.
Man. See, we I don't see how this makes them idiots. To me, this is like hypersensitivity about something that we have not experienced in this lifetime. Like, who cares if they auctioned off slaves, bro? None of us here experienced it. Like people may not like it, okay, but to charge them with racial bullying, are we serious? This is like charging a person for saying, I don't believe 5 million Jews were killed. I'm gonna charge you with racial bullying. What are you talking about? I don't believe it. It's an NL skit if we're being honest. Exactly. When Dave Chappelle was having slave auctions on his show,
he was having the racial draft.
Wasn't nobody tripping, bro.
Yeah. I see what you're saying, and yes, that was funny. But again, adults, okay?
It's okay for adults to be stupid, but kids can't be stupid.
Well, I do. No, it's not that it's not okay for kids to be stupid, because I know kids do stupid things, but I don't know. Maybe it should just be. And you're right, Marlena. We ain't cut from the same cloth. Okay.
This is messed up. How you gonna charge them with racial bullying because of something that happened online? Like, to me, hateful, racist online snap. Like, come on, bro. To me, I'm sitting here listening to Jews complain about somebody reenacting the Holocaust, or somebody turning Anne Frank, which was a book we all had to read in school, into a Snapchat skit. Are you going to charge them with racial bullying because they decided to depict Anne Frank, who, by the way, people don't even believe existed, but that's neither here nor there. when does it end? It's like, I can't believe I'm the person saying this right now.
I know. Well, okay. So kids, those of you guys that are being charged with stuff and, probably going to go to court, make sure this is not somebody you call to be your witness. Okay. This guy is a state witness in the Young Thugs YSL RICO trial. And let's hear what he has to say.
That we qualified that, you qualified it as the detectives and police. And I asked you, the authorities, the police, the prosecutors, I just made it broad, that they forced Jeffrey Williams into it. Did you hear you say that?
Man, can I get water or something? I'm so high right now, y'all. I'm about to go to sleep on y'all. I ain't gonna say no lie.
Yes, you did.
In case you didn't hear what he said, and for those of you guys that thought that, no, there's no movement on the video, it's frozen.
Got that cotton mouth. He said, I'm so high right now, I need some water. I ain't even gonna hold you.
They asked him a question. He said, man, I'm so high right now, I can't. And look at him. He is floating. Okay, she brought him the water. He probably drank it through the mask. Yeah.
Why are they still wearing masks?
I don't know.
Never mind. Never mind.
They listen. Ain't this one of Fannie Willis's?
Man,
listen, she's losing. Okay, that's as far as they need to throw this whole Young Thug case out. Okay, after this witness, how can you even keep questioning him? You can't question a witness who just said he's high.
Right. That means that their testimony should not. It's not on the record.
Right.
They're going to throw it out because you're under the influence. You can't even take a lie detector test high off weed.
Oh, man.
No, but this thing right here. I'm sorry. I went back and read. I'm reading the article you were reading, right?
Yeah. The slave auction.
How are they charged? What is a threat to commit a crime? Like, what crime they threatening?
See, again, we don't know because it's not like they released the transcript from the Snapchat. We don't know.
Wait. 2 of those juveniles were also charged with interference with civil rights.
Stop it.
How do you interfere with civil rights? How do you interfere with civil rights online?
Ah, here comes Mar Landon.
I want to get on here and say that what it was is somebody got their feelings hurt and they decide to let's make up a charge so we can charge these people. That's all it was. Let's make up something so people that got their feelings hurt can feel better about it. That's what that is.
Look at Soonie. She can't.
That's what it is.
It's probably.
I'm not playing.
That's what it is.
Soonie, stop.
Because you already know you can't have white supremacy in the schools and whatnot.
Right.
What the fuck is witness interference?
I told you they had to make up something so people feel better.
You know what? If these 8 students are white, go watch the Candace interview with the rabbi and learn that the definition of racism is always fluctuating.
Oh, bro, I'm crying tears.
That's gonna be your defense.
These charges.
Yeah.
Interference with civil rights.
Oh my Lord.
That's what they had to do. Somebody got their feelings hurt.
What does this charge carry?
What does it carry?
And of course, the Shade Room posted it, and people was in the comments eating it up. Oh, lock them up. I know they white. I know white supremacy this, white privilege that. That's why they not showing them in all of it.
Jesus Christ. Conspiracy to interfere with civil rights.
Oh, this is a real charge.
If 2 or more persons in any state territory conspire to deter by force, intimidation, or threat any party or any witness of the United States from attending such court, from testifying any pending matter therein freely, fully, truthfully to injure such party. Okay. Huh? What they a witness to and who they testifying against?
It's no wonder nobody can follow law. They make it so complicated.
Preventing an officer from performing duties, depriving a person from rights or
they got to
privileges.
cater to people's feelings.
Nigga. Whoever you are, Massachusetts. Sir, district attorney. How the hell are you depriving anybody of rights or privileges from fucking TikTok? I mean, Snapchat.
Oh my Lord.
That's why on Snapchat you got to be careful who you add as your friends and all this. Because people be screen recording and all this, showing other people.
I'm making a video and I'm just gonna sit there and laugh my butt off, bro. You should have never told me this story.
Wow.
I wasn't even paying attention to the story. I kept scrolling. I was minding my good old business. And you had to read them charges.
Yeah. Because when I saw it on the Shade Room, I was like, what?
Oh, it was.
So they posted it.
It was on the Shade Room?
I'm sorry,
like
Mo, but that was funny. Mo's like, I'm trying to be serious here. So
I know. I'm trying to be serious. Oh, it is on the Shade Room. You're right.
Yeah, it was on. I was like, what? And of course, you got people in the comments eating it up, which is not surprising.
Oh man, I don't know. All right, well, you're welcome, Soonie, for the material,
bro. Thank you, because that was funny.
Yeah. It was when I saw it too.
Yeah. All right, well, let's talk about Stephen A. Smith. Let's hear what he has to say. I don't know. You know, I have like a love-hate relationship with him. You know what bothers me about him though, Soonie, is like I just see Mitch when I see him. Like when I look at him, I see Mitch.
I feel you.
The hairline and everything.
It's the hairline, not the grill though. We got to leave Steven's mouth alone. Thanks for coming up, Orlando.
Right.
Bye. Not his grill though. Don't do that to Steve.
Yeah,
he didn't do nothing to deserve it.
Yeah. All right. So he slams Democrats for using legal system against Trump. Let's see what he has to say.
Trump is kicking the Democrats, you know what? 91 charges. 4 indictments, 91 counts against him. He's been impeached twice. And he still ran away with the GOP nomination. It was a cakewalk. DeSantis couldn't beat him. Christie couldn't beat him. Nikki Haley couldn't beat him. Vivek Ramaswamy couldn't beat him. They can't touch him. And we're still waiting for him to go to jail. We're still waiting for him because supposedly he's done so much. Russian collusion. Remember all of that? We're still waiting for the jury. We're still waiting for the guilty verdict. We're still waiting for him to be incarcerated. We're still waiting for him to be seen in zebra stripes. You can't touch him. And now he's throwing this salvo. He said, yo, why don't you come beat me? Stop engaging in lawfare and using the legal system to push your political agenda. Come beat me. That's what he did. I do sports most of the time. That's the kind of language we want to hear, ain't it? Can you beat him or not?
Where'd she go? She disappeared. I don't know. I mean, I think this is pretty. What do you guys think has caused his shift in how he's thinking? Because there was a time when he was pretty hard on Trump. He did not like Trump. Okay. And I'm noticing a lot of people like him are really changing their tune. Could it be that people are just so sick and tired of Biden? They want the old economy back. Do you think that that's what it is? Because I think that's what it is. I think that people have finally gotten to a point where they're sick and tired of Joe Biden and the Democrats, and they realize that this entire Trump witch hunt has been a waste of taxpayer money, that the Democrats know that this is never going to lead anywhere. They're just killing time. They're trying to get, hopefully get Trump on something, trying to throw darts at a wall to see what sticks and what, obviously nothing has sticked. But anyways, I wanted to know what Soonie thought, but she's gone. She just dipped out on me. So we're going to have to talk about something else. Unless you guys want to tell me what you guys think. Let's see. Is there anything I can talk? Oh, you know what I'm going to talk about? Because Soonie hasn't seen this. Did you hear any of that? You just dipped out. Where'd you go?
Sorry, the baby needed me.
Oh,
Baby.
okay. Okay.
Babysit.
Well, I don't know if you saw that or not, but I'm not going to play it again. But I did ask everybody, I said, why do you think Stephen A. Smith has done like a complete 180?
Oh yeah, I saw the clip, so I know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Because Joe Biden sucks.
That's what I said.
He sucks.
Yeah.
And Trump is the best option. And I don't. I'm sorry, but when cilantro is $12.99,
for real though,
you gotta go. Cilantro is $13 out here.
Yeah.
You got to go, pimp.
It's a lot.
It's still almost $4 to fill up my tank. It ain't dropped below $3 in 4 years.
Dude, let me tell you something. Okay. I was looking at my monthly expenditures. Okay. And it has gone up every month. Now I've just been looking at January, February, March. Okay. I spend, this is with everything included, mortgages, investment, blah, 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 almost $12,000 a month. That's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah. Crazy. Just telling you. I wanted to go back down. Okay. Because it is pretty much almost doubled from what it was. Just so you know.
That's just you, or is that just like your family?
No, that's the whole family. Yeah, that's the whole family.
Oh, that's not bad.
I think it's terrible. You have a family of what? You have 3 kids. I only have 2 kids, and my 2 kids pay for their own stuff. Okay, so really that's the household stuff, the bills, the groceries, the gas, insane.
Cost of living is high out here, so that's probably why I'm saying it. So let me shut up, because it's not even a fair comparison.
I know. It's crazy. Well, so I did want to do a quick review. You guys know sometimes I watch shows, and I watched a show. Some of you guys may know about this. It's on HBO Max. If you don't have it, I don't know what to tell you. Subscribe for like a quick second and watch it if you're interested enough. But the show is called Quiet on the Set. I'm going to show a trailer here really quick so you guys kind of can see a glimpse of it. But Quiet on the Set, initially I wasn't going to watch this because I was like a kid of the Nickelodeon age, but my kids were kind of like, they didn't watch Nickelodeon as much. But when I was, a child and a young actor, I did audition for a few Nickelodeon shows. I never got on a Nickelodeon show. My brother got like on a small like game show that was kind of put on by Nickelodeon, but it wasn't like a regular show. But they did this documentary that uncovers the toxic culture behind the Nickelodeon shows. And specifically, they highlight a guy named Dan Schneider, who pretty much like ran the Nickelodeon productions, and they interview a lot of the child stars like Drake from Drake and Josh. They interview some other people that I don't even know who they are, to basically talk about the horrors that happened behind the camera and even in front of the camera. When you guys start to see some of the things that they show, if you ever watched the Nickelodeon special, and you start to see some of the messaging that was being sent even back then in the 90s, very sexual messaging, like the kids showing their feet all the time. A lot of shots where the kids were getting shot in the face with like liquid or like, juice boxes exploding. And there was always these scenes of like kids getting liquid in their face and doing sexual things with pickles that maybe as a kid you didn't notice, but like now that they're pointing out, it's like, wow, that's crazy. They've been doing it since the 90s. And we said, all this like sexual stuff that's been going on in children's programming, it didn't just appear. It's actually been there, but it's been subtle. It's been so subtle that they've kind of like sneaked it in. And now it's just in your face. Hey, we're talking sex here. But I'm going to show you guys the trailer of this. I do highly recommend that you watch it if you can. And if you can't, I don't know what to tell you, but it's really good. So here is the trailer for Quiet on the Set. On the ID channel, according to Daniel, also said that as well. So maybe they'll replay it on there. So if you can catch it on there, it's really good. Really eye-opening.
I don't know. I have I think I have a sorry. I just pulled up the documentary. I look at this. This is not saying that this didn't happen. Clearly, everyone knows that Nickelodeon and Disney kids are sexually abused. I don't even think that this is not a big revealing thing, right? But I feel like more than anything, we are just enticing this population of predator-like men and women to find different ways to exploit kids. Because to me, this feels like exploitation. There's an entire documentary where people gain financial, they're gaining some sort of financial benefit from it. And these kids, now adults, have to live with opening a wound. I don't know anybody who's ever faced any molestation and sexual assault, especially when it's something that you don't want to talk about. You have shame. Reopening these conversations can be extremely detrimental. It can. Now, they're doing this by choice, but it still makes me wonder, why now? This has been a known fact forever. I remember when Ariana Grande, she was having a whole scandal that went away quietly about her taking naked photos, them finding naked photos of her. Topless. Selena Gomez. We all know Demi Lovato went through it. She is batshit crazy.
Yeah, they talk about Amanda Bynes in this too.
Amanda Bynes, and she's crazy. So I don't know, man. I get very weary of movies like this. Sure, shed light on it. Let these people tell their story, but also recognize that you are giving an avenue to these people to come and exploit more children. When you say, "Hey, go work for a child actor organization," you're going to have indiscriminate amounts of opportunity to go violate a kid if you work on this set. That's what I feel like they're doing. They're like openly broadcasting this thing.
Like you're saying, like showing them the formula.
Pretty much.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you can definitely take it that way. The interesting thing is obviously all the people that did the interview no longer have a career. And the two women that you see talking about how it was humiliating to talk to Dan, those were two writers on the show. And it was a very interesting dynamic between the two, because one of the women actually initiated a lawsuit and she never allowed it to get far, right? Like, so the minute he started to like do very inappropriate things, she was like, I'm out of here. Yes, this is my dream job. Yes, this is like, I mean, this pains me to have to walk away from this, but this is not right, right? She stood up for herself, okay? The other lady with the short hair that said working for him was humiliating, the amount of things that she did before it became too much for her to bear was ridiculous, right? And I did, I did a lot of thinking about this, because I was like, well, we really shit talk the women that, went to R. Kelly for a career and did whatever they had to do. And, this woman says basically the same thing, that I did what I had to do to keep my job, and she's a hero. Okay.
Yeah, that's crazy to me.
Yeah, like I don't think there should be sympathy for that woman at all, right? Yes, there's a lesson there.
Yeah.
You know, like how far are you willing to let your dignity go for a job, right? Then you see the comparison. Again, I said none of these people that are in this no longer have a career in the industry anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But you look at the ones that do, like Ariana Grande is one of them, right?
Yep.
She never pushed back. Okay.
No.
When this guy, when one of the child predators, which they didn't finish the sentence, the one that had baggies with girls' names on it, inside those baggies were panties. And they found that in this guy's apartment, right? When this guy finally went to trial, they expose who wrote a letter to speak to this guy's character in the industry. And it was a lot of people, like a lot of people. And the guy that played Drake in Drake and Josh, I don't remember.
Yeah,
Drake Bell, right? You could tell because he had never spoken about this before and they were asking him questions. And when they got to the question of what did he do to you? He just like paused for a long time and he said, let me just say this. Imagine to yourself the worst things that you could even think of that a child predator could do to you. That's what happened to me. Like that just like sunk my stomach because you could see the pain. And you're right, Soonie, you could see the pain. You could see the wound being opened again for him. He'd never spoken about this. Mm-hmm. This ruined the relationship with his father for a time being because his dad was the one that was keeping him protected. And when he was told that one of these child predators that had been hanging around his son a little too much for his liking, when he was told, oh, don't worry about it, he's gay, you have nothing to worry about, the dad was still like, I don't know about this, right? So the kid being young, and he was like, oh, my dad's too strict, he's not letting me do stuff. He tells his dad, hey, I don't want you to manage me anymore, I want mom to manage me. And their parents were divorced, okay? So the mom starts managing him. And the minute the mom took over, she did not watch this kid, okay? She allowed him to go with this guy alone because he's gay, right? He's gay and it's safe and blah, blah, blah. So she would say, hey, you know what? Instead of me driving back and forth from Orange County to LA, why doesn't Drake just spend the night at your house? And then you can go over lines for his auditions, blah, blah, blah. And Drake would say, before I knew it, I would be like there for 2 days because I would have auditions. And I would wake up and this guy was like sexually violating me. And he didn't want his career to end. He was basically supporting his family. So he just kept quiet until one day he couldn't keep quiet anymore. And he told his mom what had been happening. And when he told his dad what had been happening, oh my God, it was so sad because his dad felt like, this is my fault. Like I should have never left your side. And I told your mom to never leave you with this man. And she left. Yeah, it's crazy.
It's this why I get so sensitive and so just like sucked into this. I'm gonna watch it. I was like, I'm not watching this. I don't want to hear. It's just triggering, bro. It triggers you, and I tend to get really protective of my kids and like skeptical of everyone, dude.
Yeah,
everybody.
Yeah,
it's just sad.
I'm not gonna play the audio from this, okay? But this was a character that I think they called Big Nose, Captain Big Nose or something like that. They put a prosthetic nose on this kid, but you can barely see it here. But these things on the side of his shoulders are supposed to be noses. They look like penises.
They do.
They have like literally like two balls. They look like penises. See right there? Did you see in that picture?
Yeah.
Yeah. And he felt uncomfortable with wearing that at the time. His mom felt uncomfortable with him wearing that at the time.
Then why? Like, is money that? I grew up poor. I didn't even know I was poor. My mom struggled. We lived in Section 8 housing for most of my life until she got married. And even then, we still had to live on like government assisted programs that helped teachers. My stepdad was a teacher.
Yeah.
And they would help you purchase a home. It wasn't until then that we actually moved to the suburbs.
Mm-hmm.
For real. I had never lived in the suburbs until I was 14, 15 years old. Why can't people just grind it out? Is it worth ruining your kid, man? Nothing is worth that to me. I would rather be broke, figuring it out than to ever exploit my kid for money. Because essentially that's what these parents are doing.
I know.
Like, you know, your son was fucked up, lady. You know something was happening to him. If you're a good mom, you know your kids.
Yeah.
You immediately know when something is off.
Yeah.
They ain't even got to say nothing. My son got his soccer ball taken away from him, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he gets in the car and I could just see it on his face. I said, what's wrong with you? And he was just like, he got upset and cried. I got my soccer ball. That's his life, soccer.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But all he did was walk to my car and he just had a face.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you? Imagine something more detrimental, like what these kids experience.
Like a
happening.
Violation. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And you don't know that your kid's being violated. I don't believe parents when they say that. I really don't.
I couldn't even imagine. I couldn't imagine not feeling the shift in my child.
Yes.
Or even like watching them film something uncomfortable for them and not saying, I can tell they're uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You know?
Crazy. I'm not going to purchase anything. I just found a website that's streaming it for free $99. So if y'all want the link, hit me up.
If y'all want the link, everybody, we only have one like. What the hell? Everybody hit like on this.
What the hell's going on?
We can.
That's Facebook though.
Oh, we only have the account for Facebook.
No, they're all up, but Facebook is the only one that shows.
Oh, likes. Okay, I'm sorry, you guys. I take back everything I said about you. Put a 1 in the comment if you want the link.
That's crazy, man. I'm glad you saved that one for last. Because oh my god,
why are you guys switch sides? We switch sides.
Yeah, you're usually here, and I'm usually over there.
Wow, it's so cool that people they recognize that. All those OCD folks, right? They're the same people that are like, Mo, it's I'm sorry, it's THEIR, whatever it is. I'm like, when my spelling sometimes, because you guys, sometimes I'm like voice texting or whatever. I don't have time. And people are just like, there's supposed to be an apostrophe after. You know who you are. You know who you are, you wordsmithers, you.
Mo says it's on HBO Max, yeah.
Yes, it's also on HBO Max, but Soonie found a free website.
Yeah, I'm going to watch this while I wait for my babies to get out of school.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's very, very good. Very, very good. I'll tell you one thing I don't care about is the Kate Middleton drama. I'm not even going to like discuss it.
Who is that?
The princess, Prince Harry's wife, the queen to be.
Listen, my daughter said, "Oh, Queen Elizabeth." And before I knew it, I was like, "Why the hell do you guys know who she is? Like, why?
Well, Queen
like,
Elizabeth,
what relevance does she have to this country?"
She did. She ain't got no relevance no more. But Kate Middleton now, however, she is the queen. You know, she's the heir to the queenship. Okay, her husband, Prince Harry, Princess Diana's son, he's the future king. Okay, his daddy has cancer, so there's all this stuff right now that something is wrong with Kate Middleton. Okay, and if my girl Heather is watching, because sometimes she watches. Her and my friend Angela, they are so wrapped up in this Kate Middleton stuff. And they're like sending in our group text all these like TikTok videos. And I'm just like, you guys stop feeding into this. These TikTokers are trying to make money.
Like what? I don't get what the draw is. To me, those English people are so boring.
Well, to the English, it's a big deal because that's their future queen, right? So they're concerned because she had stomach surgery supposedly, and she was like caught in some weird Photoshop thing, like where it's just not looking right. And they think she's been body cloned and replaced.
Oh my God. Here the conspiracy theorists go.
Oh, I'm sorry. Not Harry. What is it? Prince Harry and William? William. Sorry, William.
I saw Meghan Markle in the TV show, Suits. I was watching it and I'm like, this girl looks familiar. Who is that? And then I looked up the cast. She's not a bad actress, honestly. She's a pretty good actress. Yeah. I like the show. There's some moments where you can like her character is being purposely like sultry and sensual. That part is cringe, but overall, she's a good actress.
Yeah, she's not acting anymore.
She should go back to that because what she's doing now, you know, the race baiting and how she had this man walk away from his You think I'm gonna walk away from that?
Right?
Are you crazy?
Soonie, if you were about to be if you were in line to be a queen and like you weren't married, right? And some guy you were dating was like, yo, baby, like I really need you to walk away from this.
No.
Absolutely not. I'd be like, sir, I'm setting our children up for success.
For life.
You want me to go back to be a basic? I don't think so. You got me all the way fucked up. You got me all the way fucked up. Okay.
Dang. Yeah, she did him dirty. And then she gonna slap race on it. And I'm looking at her like, Heifer, you look white. I couldn't even tell you were black.
Yeah. Actually,
you look white.
She looks more black in her childhood photos than she did. Well, because she went and got like a French press or a Brazilian blowout or something and ruined her hair. So, you know, because I've never seen her wear her hair in its natural state. Because
but who is going to look at her and think white? I mean, who is going to look at her and think black?
Nobody.
Nobody.
No, my favorite was when she was talking to Oprah and she was explaining to Oprah how when her first baby, when she was pregnant with her first baby, that there was concern from the royal family about what color the baby might turn out. And I'm like, that baby gonna come out whiter than white. Okay. Right. You put two whites together and you go get a white baby. That baby's not gonna come out black at all. Okay. Oprah was like, are you serious? They asked the color of the baby.
I mean, isn't that common? I wondered what my children would look like because me and my husband are vastly different in shape.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Like he's much lighter than I am.
It is. You wonder, is my child gonna come out pale?
Yeah,
skin,
like am I gonna
hair,
have exactly? My daughters are very fair skinned with light eyes. Like people don't even think they're my daughters.
Right.
That kind of pisses me off because I'm like, what you mean? Like what if my husband was white?
But your son, on the other hand, he's like your clone.
Yeah, my son is my spitting image. He looks just like me.
Exactly like you. It is weird. It's like a little, like whenever your son gets in the camera frame, it's like mini Soonie. It's the weirdest thing. It's like a mini Soonie. It's the scariest. Like down to the facial expressions, everything. It is the weirdest thing.
You know, what was I doing? I was playing on the game with my husband and his friends. And I had like chuckled at something. And somebody was like, yo, is your son in the room? And he's like, no, that's my wife. And the guy was like, dude, what the? You sound just like him. Like we pretty much have the same laugh. It's so weird. It's weird.
Everything. Like if you guys want to know what Soonie's son looks like, just like chop Soonie's bun off. Just chop the bun off and that's what he looks like.
Pretty much.
He's probably making that face right now.
He has school. It's fun week at school because they're about to go on spring break. So
dang, they're behind.
Texas is already out?
I think so. I don't know. My kids aren't in school, so I don't know. I mean, my son's in school, but he doesn't get spring break.
How do you feel that none of your kids are in school anymore? Do you feel like I'm starting to feel a bit useless?
I did, in the beginning when they first, I had one that was like a year behind, but when they were both out at first, it was like, oh my God, like I have no kids to take to school. Yeah. I have no like homework to worry about getting done or, things like that.
Bro, that's how I felt when I graduated.
Yeah.
When I graduated high school, I was just like,
you realize,
what do I do with myself? Like, yeah. What do I do?
Well, what's weird is now I feel busier than ever. Even more busier than
you probably have put more on your plate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
I feel a bit useless, man.
And your kids are
can
still
I make my
school.
own dinner? They are. But, I'll be like, all right, I'm going to make dinner. I'm going to make this. And they're like, can I make my own stuff? And I'm like, why?
Yeah.
You don't like my food? And they're like, yeah, I just, like, they like cooking. So I'll just be like, all right, whatever, fine. Make your own food.
Just wait till they're like, oh, I'm not coming home today.
Yeah, that's not happening. No.
Well, once they're
unless they're grown, like you're 19, 20 something years old.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
That's what I'm dealing with.
I'm gonna be nosy though, like put your location on.
Yeah.
Okay. And if I text, you ain't got to say much, but Send our secret code so I know you're good.
The other day, like both my kids, they were out. Like my son was out with his girlfriend, and my daughter was out with her boyfriend. And like I go to look to see where they're at because I was expecting them home for dinner. So I was like trying to see like where they were at. And they're both at the same mall, but like on separate ends of the mall. And so like I'm like such a dork parent. Like I send them a screenshot. I'm like, look, you guys are both at the mall. And they're like, okay, like so we see each other every day. I was like,
that's funny.
Yeah.
Dang, I remember being a teenager. I wonder if my mother was probably like, good riddance. She probably couldn't wait for me to go, bro. Good Lord.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know. I miss seeing them.
I'm
all
starting
the
to
time.
feel useless, but I'm just gonna embrace it because my son is almost 13. He's pretty much a tween, and my daughters remind me all the time, Jaden's not a kid, he's a tween. And I'm like, shut up, he's a kid.
Yeah.
Stop aging him. And he's starting to show it too, because he's like, Mom, can I get these sneakers? Mom, can I get a Messi jersey?
He's gonna start.
Mom, can I go to the park across the street? Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a fun when the boys start to care what they look like and they start to
And
like
he was matching. Dude,
Yeah.
he got dressed and was matching. I was like, what the heck?
Yeah.
Find out. Put on the shoes that go with it. You know, he's just got these nice Hirachis. He's turning into a sneakerhead.
Oh.
So when he's like, I only like Adidas. When I listen, I'm so proud to say this. My son is tremendously like influenced by Bryson and his music.
Mhm.
It's crazy.
Mhm.
He won't wear Nike now.
Wow.
I only rock Adidas. I'm like, what do you even know about Adidas?
They're a better shoe anyways. More
Are they?
comfortable. Yeah.
I love my Nikes. They're not ever going anywhere.
Yeah. But see, okay, so P says that I only like Nike, or I'm sorry, I only like Adidas because he says I have wide feet.
Yeah,
like,
and definitely a Nike shoe it's got a
it's too narrow.
It's narrow. Yeah.
It's narrow.
See, look, I keep the Nikes right here on deck, bro.
Yeah. I love Adidas, man. They're comfortable.
You
Adidas
tripping.
are some comfortable shoes.
These are some comfortable shoes. You can walk in these and be
Wait,
perfectly
which ones
fine.
are those?
These are the Nike what are they called? I forget. It was just one type of shoe like this that they did. It kind of looks like the Air Maxes. With the thick sole.
Mm-hmm.
What is the name of the shoe?
I don't know.
Nike Renew.
Oh yeah, I never heard of that. That was a one timer for sure. But see, like
They didn't
I
make
have
a lot of these.
I have the Air Forces, and those are the most uncomfortable shoes.
Yeah, because that's a fashion shoe. Like you wear that out once and then
like
you take them off
for an hour. Yeah, for sure.
You don't be wearing them. Those aren't leisure shoes.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah.
Soonie and her family need to show up with Tune In.
It's called
Bro,
it's called Live. Well, I mean, you won't see her kids, but you definitely hear Soonie talking to the kids.
No, he's talking about my family.
Oh, like not your kids? You're talking about?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That would be a hit show. 'Cause somebody gonna be fighting. Somebody gonna be gossiping about the next person.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody gonna be talking about somebody's business. We gonna have reunion shows where cousins is fighting. I'm telling you, bro.
Yeah.
I would watch my own family.
I know. I always tell my mom because y'all are I can never sneak record her because she's always like, what are you doing? But my mom, you guys, when she gives her commentary, I have to find a way to do this because I think it's genius. But like when she gives her commentary in Spanglish, Spanish and English at the same time, it is hilarious, like on political issues. Okay. And only like Latin people would understand what she's saying, obviously, when she's speaking in Spanish, but it is hilarious. And I was like, Mom,
Really?
we have to do a show together because there's like a gap for like Latinos, like who speak Spanglish and understand a little bit of Spanish, a little bit of English. You're hilarious. And she's like, no, I would never do that. So
you do it then.
Yeah, but I need
Why
her.
your mom gotta do it?
Because she would be the draw. She would be the draw. I'm not as funny as her.
Where are you?
Where am
Sorry,
I?
my husband.
I was
like when your husband leaves and he doesn't say anything, Like, aren't you like, hello? Like, you couldn't say bye.
Yeah.
You just gonna dip.
But that hardly happened. I mean, obviously, if I was on the show, he might text me though.
See, he didn't even text me. He just left, and he's probably gonna be like, "You were busy." My husband is so he does not have he has emotions, but man, I'll be feeling like, how come you just can't like cater to my feelings just maybe for like 20 minutes, man?
Girly.
I am. I'm a tomboy. That's all that is.
Yeah.
I feel things deeply.
Yeah. So you wish he was like, one of those guys that's like, hey, I'm leaving.
No, even if he just popped his head in here and was like, yeah, I'll be back. I'm okay with that. Like, he doesn't have to be like lovey-dovey. You don't gotta be. That's just too much. Don't be doing that.
Yeah.
You know? But like, come on, pimp. You couldn't say nothing?
Come on, pimp. Sorry, y'all. I'm hungry and I'm like scraping the hummus out of this little container.
Now, Mo.
I'm doing. I ran
out
of.
What I've been eating?
Cucumbers.
We're on the topic of food, and we're about to wrap up. I've been eating Brussels. This is what I eat every night: Brussels sprouts.
Oh, I know
rice.
You're
I am. Brussels sprouts, rice, avocado sliced up, and then an egg on top.
Oh, that sounds good,
bro. And you got to put the honey on the Brussels sprouts.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes.
It was so good.
If you like balsamic vinegar,
I only like it the way Erica makes it. She makes this special sauce, this special dressing you put over your rice and something else. I don't know how to make it.
But balsamic vinegar on Brussels sprouts with honey.
It's good.
And then you like pan fry them so that they're like crispy and crunchy.
Yeah.
So bomb.
I might have to try that.
Dude, I love Brussels sprouts.
You know what somebody told me? They're like, you eat like a white person. I was like, since when did Brussels sprouts become white?
Yeah, I know a lot of white people that don't eat Brussels sprouts.
I thought that was just healthy.
Dude, I don't understand people who don't like Brussels sprouts. Because I think
good, aren't they?
Well, yeah, and I think like if you don't like them, it's because you're probably just like eating them super plain because there's so much you can do to Brussels sprouts to like really bring out the flavor and like texture of a Brussels sprout, like the crunchy. Ooh.
Do you saute it and I do roasted garlic in mine. I roasted garlic before then. Okay.
I put like red pepper flakes. I like a little spice on it.
Ooh, that sounds good, bro. I'm about to go buy some more so I can whip some up.
Some sriracha. You put some sriracha on them. Good.
That sounds good as heck.
Yeah, but you will be gassy. So don't be eating no Brussels sprouts if you're going on a date or you're about to get busy. Because you're gonna be all
here you go. You can't help but go back to
I'm just looking out. No, I'm just looking out for people because that's the reality of Brussels sprout eating is you are going to be
looking out for the people.
Yeah. What did I eat the other day? That both me and Dave were just like, oh my God. Dave, what did we eat the other day that like made us super gassy? What did we eat the other day that we were super gassy? That I was. He said, oh, that you were? Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was for St. Patrick's Day. I was trying to make sure Dave was being seen as a white person. So I made him corned beef and cabbage. And yeah, cabbage will do it to you. Okay.
Y'all want to hear something funny? I'm sitting here and I can hear pitter patter. I'm like, oh, she got her feet in there because she's in a walker. Tell me why this kid got out of the walker.
And where is she?
And she's just crawling around.
How did she get out? Oh,
she got out the walker. Emery. She got out the walker and now she's attempting to grab the headphones. Well,
all right.
Emery's
Show's
gonna make
over.
her debut. I'll be right back.
No, it's okay. I'll end the show. Soonie, say bye. Anyway, she said bye. All right, guys, we are ending tonight's show. We will see you on Friday for another show. We will probably have Jerron on the show. But you guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to hit a like if you haven't already done so. Oh, she's coming back with Emery. Emery will say bye to us. I was just about to sign off.
Go ahead.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.
She can't even hear me. I'm like one of those fools. I'm like,
y'all.
I'm like, bye, and she can't even hear me. Bye, guys. Have a good night. Have a good night.